All right. I'm going to say it to begin with. I do not care if you believe Jody. I don't care if you don't believe her. I don't care if you do believe her. I'm going to finish up this interview that I had with her. And like I said, y'all want to go look for her contradictions in what she's saying, please feel free to do so. That is not on me whatsoever. If you do not want to hear what she says, don't fucking be here. Bottom line. Hey, Chris.
See these people start believing it's like I being them creating that you're not being stalked.
Right.
While they did have people up on their panels going, yeah, we're stalking her. And it's people have been telling you, meanwhile, they'll believe those like Marlena's saying they're being stalked. And chances are Marlena's being, set off and made paranoid, and it's probably by
Right.
people and other locals, YouTubers are sending to keep her in a certain emotional and mental state, making her think she's being followed and shit. To where then,
Now, that's true, whether you guys fucking believe it or not. Okay? If y'all don't think that YouTubers didn't have Marlena at a heightened state, I don't know what to tell you guys. There's a reason Marlena came out, right? I don't know. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about this interview with Jody, Chris. Nobody cares about the conversation about Summer's case right now. I'm sure they're all getting ready for the 4-year mark.
then she is out here screaming she's whatever. But here we had the Nanas, the Yennifers, we had the fake police force of Chase, we had Looky Loos and Zoo Petters and local for dope money doing the shit, and it was traffic nonstop while Jenny ate her. Maybe everybody was there. No, she's histrionic, she's crazy, she's a liar. Oh my god! But then, same breath, they'd have people, and they'd show you they were stalking. The YouTubers are having it done. People on panels saying, I mean, it's been here. Hold on, pretty face. They call us
Hey, is that your live stream? Well,
Yeah.
I kind of got, Steven's channel is now called Singing Live Stream. Cool, Steven. I wish you all the luck in the world on that, my friend.
You tell me how any of that was that for? Like, you think FBI and TBI and agencies don't know where we're at all times? Did you?
We're going to be talking about other things too. We're not just going to be talking about this interview. I can tell you that right now. And we can get into a lot of things.
Who stalkers need to do that? Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
I mean, that's the whole thing about it. I was kind of told one time by a person, they were like, oh, law enforcement's watching your channel and Don and Candace are watching it and TBI. And I was like, let me speed this up because I've already played. Why do I care if they're watching me? I'm not saying anything, and I have not inserted myself into a little missing girl case. So no, I have if they're not listening to me, maybe they're trying to learn something. Maybe
they're watching for a reason,
Right.
And it's like,
oh, well, be
that's
careful.
what always gets me. I got people looking at my channel and they'll be like, I heard what you said earlier. I'm saying TBI. I'm like, well, good for you. You think the channel ain't over there.
Well, that's what got me about Marlena, too, because she, just immediately started attacking. And I'm like, but she was like, I heard this and I heard that. And I was like, where did you hear it from? Where did you hear it? Because that's been a problem the whole fucking time is because people run in say shit that they don't know if it's fucking true or not. Hey, Andrew. And let me tell you why I know that.
And watching everything online.
Let me explain to you how I fucking know that because that shit's going on in my real life right now. And I do not associate with people who associate with my fucking stalker. I know who you guys are, and I don't think you'll be seeing me around your channels. How about that?
For all these years, just like Fred, but now she's being told to do it. She knows it's paying, so she's getting a little better at it. She's being told what to say and what narrative, and watch how they're holding her hand and leading her.
Right.
And she's going with it, and they're over talking to her. You know what I mean? The same thing they do with Candace on everybody else. And Fred and everybody, and it leads to chaos. But
well, I mean, that's the thing. Marlena coming out like she did. Did she honestly think that people were not going to, people weren't going to turn around and know for a fact her contradictions and what she was saying? Now, this is what I heard, and I think I talked about this last time I talked about Marlena. Allegedly, she had this friend that was the one that got the 4:30 phone call. Now, let me say this. The person that told me about that is a certifiable liar. Their lies have been shown and told. And so, do I even believe that? Well, I guess that's up for the individual person to fucking believe or not, right? I was talking to a friend.
there.
She says it was Candace. That's what I heard though.
Oh,
At
thanks,
4:30, it was a
Chris.
friend or something that
Makes me feel
that she
good.
was
Thank
talking
you
to.
for
Now, whether
that.
she talked to Candace like 4 o'clock and then the
Could
friend at
be.
4:30 to tell the friend, I don't fucking know. But
Could be him. But then it makes you wonder what kind of friend didn't then turn around and call 911 going, hey, this person's saying something's happened or the
not
child.
until 7 o'clock. Yeah, 7:30. Because then
Right. Well, I mean,
then what she said was that. Is that what you're taking out of the interview, Chris? I would hope that people would get more than that out of it. That the next time she talked to, one of the times she's saying she talked to Candace, she says the story of, oh my gosh, call law enforcement or I will. And I'm like, no, I don't see that. I just don't see that happening. But I wasn't.
talking about that first day or first panel or whatever it was. It's like, I don't know. And it was that the time of the call was 3:30 or 4 o'clock. Well, then that really didn't make a good deal of sense. Because she said that Candace.
The call went from 3:30 to 4 to 4 to 4:30, then 7 to 7:30. Y'all figure it out.
Just told her Summer had been missing 20 minutes. That would mean Summer would have literally vanished as soon as they made it up on the hill.
Exactly. That's what I said. Chris, that would be like me saying, you sound like a dick. Right? Actually, I got that wrote down too. I'm like, Summer would have had to have went missing right when they got up on the hill.
Right. And then, so the next live sheet on PG, then they've hammered it down to a 4:37. And what does that overlap? Oh, I don't know. Scream time, right? And then also
Scream was allegedly 4:30 to 4:42. There's a lot going on at 4:30.
What did PG and Benny do with Candace when they got up there in the 4:30?
You're not a dick, Chris. I apologize. I shouldn't have said it like that. I apologize.
Her and they're trying to do some buck shit, man.
Well, that was the thing, because if I remember correctly, there was like 4 different 4:30 stories.
Right. And Candace to me the day, because I was on, they played another hoax over here. So the FBI, I was on live and the FBI shows up. And I just on that live became aware of Candace. And I was like, oh my God, she said this on Benny. There's Benny. And so I went out and I was like, oh yeah, let's play. I gotta go. And I shut the live down. I went out and talked to him. I was like, I've seen this shit. What the fuck? You know? And they're like, what the fuck? Jody's been talking to law enforcement the whole time. So if you're fine, Chris. I was just messing with you. I shouldn't have said that. I apologize. I do apologize. I am in rare form today. Let's put it that way. Yeah, but that's on Candace. I don't know why she did it. And she come off at 4:30 off the hill. That's on her, man.
Yeah, that's what she said. First, one of the things she said, she was looking for Summer at Fred's because she allegedly seen Chad. Then I thought she said she had seen you. At one, right down there.
You've got the version of Candace is like, I went off hill, I didn't see nothing or nobody.
And then, and then she turned around and said, no, I didn't hear the scream because I was in the house looking for Summer. Which would have put Summer gone by 4:30. Candace's story changed depending on who she was talking to or who she was talking for. You can hear what she says to Ernie. You can hear what she says to Benny. Everybody got a different story depending on how far they wanted to take the grith that night. I think that was recorded on the 18th or 19th. The crazy crime chick got it through some whatever over the 20th overnight. But it had already been recorded like 48, 72 hours after some rest. Then what it came to do, when it was no longer convenient for them, because if you notice when Dawn let that out, and I remember him in the road in real time being like, oh, I sort of doxed you by accident, I showed your cabin. So, I'm like, oh God, whatever. I didn't know what he meant though. Right. And I was like, well, whatever, But what it did was, I guess it's just, and once I became aware over here of what had actually been done once I was here, and looking back at that share piece and knowing what correlates, those were dates that his sister's Lonnie McDonough stuff was coming out again. Right. He needed something to use, and what did he do? He finally let out the screen thing. This round called him a liar and whatever, but then Crazy Crime Chick's like, no, he's not, because Candace was recorded with him. Yeah, and then when they actually figured out the time of the screen, which they did not know for the longest time, they knew about the screen, but they did not know what time it was. Once they became aware of what time and that it didn't, it wasn't something like. It may not have, been relevant in that. But Candace immediately was like, fuck her, whatever. Oh, well, can't help it. And that's the thing. If you don't think that there were YouTubers trying to turn all the locals against each other, I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know what to tell you.
Why concentrate on just that? Everybody's always so worried about the screen, but never pays attention to the other things we've seen, heard, witnessed today. They know it. You know, and the
We do know that Lawson said he and other law enforcement agencies did not think that the scream was relevant in Summer's case. Now, I will tell y'all again, one of the theories that I have is Candace told the boys to keep an eye on Summer because she was leaving the hill for whatever reason. Grandma was asleep. Candace comes back, Summer's gone. The last place the boys seen her was on her swing or the little jungle gym or whatever they had, right? So I don't know what happened to Summer. I don't know who took Summer. I don't know if Summer is laying out there in the woods somewhere and needs to be found and brought home. I don't know any of that. But after hearing Grandma on WJHL, the way that the stories played out, that kind of makes sense to me. But that's just me. Y'all can think whatever you want.
scream, even I'm like, man, it could count, not count, be that maybe there's an explanation for it one day. It's okay if it's not a thing.
Right.
It's okay if it was. I'd love an explanation.
Right.
No.
Well, let me ask you this. What did you think? Because Andy calls Pruitt, right? And asking, no, this is when Pruitt was talking to Ziggy and she started out describing a truck, then went straight for Andy to Pruitt.
Yeah, that's
And,
all right.
and he says, Andy was there prior. What do you think he meant by that?
I think that's very nuanced
Prior
detective
is
language. Prior can
prior.
mean anything, can it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, that
Think
could
about
mean a
this.
lot.
Wasn't he there prior? He was there that morning leaving.
Prior, yeah.
He was there his prior whole ass life too. You know,
I know,
way.
yeah. That's exactly what I thought too. I was like, fuck, that's not telling us shit.
No, it's fucking with Ziggy and Fred. Do you think that man took that long in between getting that email and calling back without thinking
Right.
about it?
That's crazy.
And it's like Kathy and Fred, and they're dipping the phone bullshit. All it was is they finally had Laura, because you can see how long it's been since Laura responded to Andy and Messenger. And she finally messages him back, probably because she got money and shit. And, Andy was like, man, we didn't see you on 15. And she, replies, oh, yeah, we did this there. And then Fred and Kathy never run right to have the phone dipped.
Right.
Because if you have a liar say something to someone in an inbox, then people, especially out here, will be like, oh, if they said it, then it must be true.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you have a liar saying something on purpose to someone intentionally and then say Fred and Ziggy trying to say, you can't,
Well,
they cannot
Fred's telling people, oh, I seen Brandon Clark by his mailbox at 8 o'clock that morning. I seen Andy's uncle sitting at the bottom of the hill watching for Andy Bernard, Jackie Dobbs, and I seen this and I seen that, and I know where the cameras are.
Fred saying we were camping out at the driveway for 3 days straight. How would he?
Yes.
How would you have known that? He lives like way up in the hollow. Like, what were you doing? You think, but we weren't. And you can see
him down there too, right?
And on my lives on my Facebook that weren't made public until way later on, obviously, and some that have not been. The very next day, I'm there, and helicopters flying me. I'm at the top of the hill. I'm not at the bottom. And he said Andy didn't go back to work for weeks, or this here run off immediately. But yet here's Andy the next morning taking the dog to the vet, running errands, going to work.
Right.
Andy went right back. Like, you're lying, bro. Nobody stood at the driveway for 3 days trying to figure out what's going on. Why would we have to? Feds, law enforcement, card teams, specialists, profilers were face to face with us on top of the hill, bottom, everywhere else. We'd call us the command center if needed. We'd talk to detectives when, wherever they needed. Nobody would be sitting at the hill going, what do you need to know? No, that was Fred coming up to all of us and visiting us.
Okay.
Our driveway didn't know what was going on.
Right. Yeah, because that freaking recording Don Wells bullshit. I'm like,
you notice he's always like, oh, Andy and JSB, you're on recordings. Okay, well, you were supposed to be recording Don, but conveniently that oopsie and delete them.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, those disappeared, didn't they? It didn't work out too well or something.
No,
I don't know.
right, but that's weird. But then there at the same time in real life, what you have occurring is Don out there looking to you, at least on Facebook posts, and what was being sent to me by their neighbors and stuff will be screenshots of Don acting woo batshit crazy Russian, whatever, and religious military, whatever it is, and being like, oh, the army needs to be brought in to kick indoors people who ain't agreed. And then aiming at Fred, obviously, and all this there. And then him and Fred would meet up in the road and be like, hey, man, and like road dogging and very quiet and calm with each other, cool as fucking could be. And then the next day, and like, I'm like, what the? And then the other neighbors, they'd screenshot something like, man, is Don okay today? He's having a mental fucking break. Man, is he okay? We're scared for it. Like, this is the middle. I was like, man, that's weird because I can hear him see him right now face to face. I can hear him laughing, cutting up, he's cussing. I just seen him 2 minutes ago at the bottom. He's fine. We were bullshitting. shooting the shit about random stuff, and it seems life is normal for them. They're able to laugh, smile, do whatever, act
Right.
like they're going the hell on. And I mean, he definitely wasn't under preaching the word of Christ and Russians and the army needs to invade everybody else's houses.
Right.
I mean, but yeah, okay, Don's fine. I don't know what to tell you.
Well,
You
that's
know?
what was funny. I mean, here he was getting back into the SDA church, even though he was doing his shit on the side.
Hey, Jill.
When they start talking about Summer being worth her weight in gold.
That was a Bobo interview, wasn't it?
Well, not only that, but Marlena said he told her dad that. Fred said it. So, it kind of seems like Don saying that.
Well, he did say similar in the Bobo interview, so there's a little truth to that. Just like I think there is to what Fred told me in Real Time in the Road. Because the first time I ever heard anything like that was, it was about Don's first visit that first night down to Fred's. And when Fred come up looking for info from us hunting an imaginary dog and all that shit, Fred was like, oh man, Don told me this and the other, and it was some version. It was a bunch of like different religions and their verses gobbledygook together, but it basically and essentially was like a version of Summer was dirty and needed to be cleansed type thing. It wasn't sacrifice though, wasn't anything like that. I thought it was gross and weird.
Matthew. She's not here. So I don't know how you're going to get on her nerves by saying that. But she's not here right now. I'm just finishing up the interview.
And that's literally because Don was in a mood already about religion. I mean, that was nothing new. Look who they called first cloak behind. That'd be Robin and Dotson, in church. And that was something we all knew as their neighbor.
So is your other friend watching that keeps fucking with me in real life, Matthew? That's your friend too, right? I'm just asking. I don't know.
First community members that every time Don went out and did something, the Saturday, it was like a week long. Oh, Don's religious suddenly, so didn't expect any different, but didn't expect to go on this one. But yeah, so that would have been unheard of. But then you have him and Marlena with a certain amount. It becomes a sacrifice thing. Then after her dad dies,
I ain't watching my mouth about your lovely friend. I'll tell you that right now. Are you behind the scenes, tee-heeing it, funny, when I walk out my front door and I'm being called a whore because I was up on your panel? Is that amusing to everybody? Does everybody find it fucking amusing that people want to fuck with my real life? I don't know. I'm just asking.
Oh, Dad said, I'm like, really all right. If I hear one more person say their dad said we're laid off on door, I swear to God.
I know. I mean, they sure put a lot on people that aren't here no more to speak up for themselves. No,
and
it
people
ain't cool.
Pay attention to Fred and that joke.
It ain't cool. Not at all. Not fucking cool at all. I'm over it. I'm fucking over it. For sure. I don't know what you know and what you don't know, but I've heard some things. I'll just say that.
What he actually says is while he's in jail, he just learned this.
Right. But, okay, I have to ask you about this because what was the fucking story about the prostitute, Candace and Don? Allegedly, Candace got her, took her up on the hill. Jody doesn't know about this story. And doing bad things. She got away. I don't understand how Jody does not know about this story. Not at all. Because that story came out, I don't know. I want to say it's somewhere on Cam and Alley's on Cracking Cases. And it had to do with, I believe it was 423 Chase that was on a phone call talking about it. Now, I'll have to go back through and find it. But people who's followed Summer's case from the beginning, absolutely. Was running down the road. Cotton Simpson found her, took her to his place and gave her some clothes. And he was worried his girlfriend would think that it was him that did it. That was a weird fuck. You never heard that story?
Nope.
Are you serious?
Oh
my God, Jody. I have to find it.
I can only assume that might have come from the Crystal Spencer real story or one of the others.
No, it didn't have anything to do with
it. Candace really supposedly beat Crystal's naked ass
Yes,
and
he did
put
sleep
her
with
off the
Dawn.
hill and made her walk naked. Now, I mean,
Oh, yeah, that could have been it. Maybe that's what it was.
but
I don't know. Didn't she come on YouTube though and admit that she slept with Dawn one time? Yes.
she ain't though.
Yeah,
Not
but
only,
that was supposed to be in the house with
I
Candace
mean,
in the house.
right now there are others circling the blocks that we're damn sure don't.
So what's that prove? I mean, really, if you think about it, Don Wells is a hoochie mister. He was getting him a little something, something with Candace in the house. They say that the kids were right there. I don't know. I wasn't there while him and Crystal were doing the deed. Hey, Poppy.
That's all I'm saying. That's what you get when you get on dope. You'll fuck up Fred or Dawn.
That is hilarious.
But yeah, that ain't the only one. I mean, there is a whole history of them. Especially, it's like, man, even real time, weird shit going. There was always some couple that were helping her, and then inevitably, what would happen would be like, and it was some sort of always DV or drug use, right?
Right.
And they were trying to help the woman, but inevitably, what you see is a separation, but the female stay, and then Cam's be passed out by dark, but then you have Dawn and extreme intoxication of him and his female, whatever, and then them end up fucking or doing whatever, and then it's like, wait a minute. I feel like a Barbie and Ken vibe coming off of this motherfucking place. Remember that couple operating whatever in Canada? It's like, man, what's up with this? And you feel like there's an advantage thing taken, but also it's like, these are dope heads. When they get on certain substances, they'll fucking,
that is true.
meth and stuff makes them all kinds of ways.
Yeah,
but
makes them all kinds of ways. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
you never could tell. That's the thing. Like you would see or know thing, but then you were also like, well, is it this or is it people manipulate? Is it predatory? Is it not? You don't know. But then none of them are going to turn each other in, even if it is predatory, because all of them using dope. I mean, so it keeps anything from being said if there was predatory behavior. I just don't know.
Right.
And you can't prove it unless somebody's willing to say it or testify to it.
That is wild. Yeah, I heard all kinds of stories. Did you hear the story that allegedly Dawn and Candace had signs down at the bottom of the hill, down at the bottom of Ben Hill with different prices for different sex
They
acts?
did not. That was Fred that put that crap out and said they were running prostitution, and that was when him and Pam, his original wife, were staying there with the other kids that were taken. But they didn't stay long in the community. They lived there for a while, and then they were gone. The same pattern, I guess, played out. They weren't good to the kids. Other neighbors had to take care of all the things, right? And then they jetted.
So Fred was with someone named Pam before? Is that what she's saying? Or was that when Dawn's ex-wife lived there? Because her name's Pam too. I mean, I guess you got to question people named Pam, right?
When DCS got too close, then inevitably you see how that ended. And but the same pattern played out. But you also had Fred in there when he said that, he was also saying that Rose was down.
Yes, he did. That was, and Marlena saying that at some time. I think it was Marlena saying at some time Candace tried to say that she was her sister Rose. It was really fucking weird.
No, honestly, you never know with Candace. Candace didn't. I mean, Candace does a lot of shit through years, doesn't make it through. And then when they're all in that dope together, who knows what fell out of Candace's mouth tomorrow?
That's true. That is very. Dawn was with Pam, but the way that she just said that was that Fred was with someone named Pam. That's the way I took it. Maybe I'm taking it wrong. There are things that I do take wrong that are said to me. And then there's other things like I'm like, ding, ding, motherfucking ding. It all makes sense, right?
Shadow people. Who knows what Marlena actually heard that are bringing made in.
That's Well, that's the bad thing about it. I mean, that's with a lot of them. You just can't get a grip on what at that time maybe their fucking reality. So, you're grasping onto this could be true. Well, wait a minute. They were doing this substance. So you got to take that into. Oh, yeah, you guys. My son graduates from college tomorrow. I am so proud of him. Oh, but that's right. You bitches are worried about who's mowing my motherfucking grass, right? That's right. Nobody fucking says, oh, wait, somebody in their life is actually doing good and they're graduating from fucking college. No, you bitches want to talk about who's mowing my motherfucking grass. You want to be one of the ones who are on the other end of the phone when I leave my house and then I come back and I'm being called a whore, a bitch, a slut. What the fuck else you motherfuckers want to call me? Because I'm telling you, I'm done. I am fucking done with it. I am fucking done with it. Now, feel free to pop me a cash app, because you know what? I'm going to need a little extra funds, because this shit's getting ready to get fucking real. It's going to get fucking real. And let me tell you guys this. When it's all said and done, I'm going to pull out every fucking receipt on everything. Everything. This is my real fucking life. My real fucking life. But no, let's worry about who's mowing Remain Calm's motherfucking grass. Account, so that fucks the whole story up.
Right. Well, then also what you have is, there's a long line of genetic predisposition to mental issues and stuff, and that doesn't mean just because somebody has issues that means they're not telling the truth or not this right now. And so I don't mean it in that way. But when you have that combined throughout that, and then you have, well, even if you don't, so you take that away, but you have a bunch of people like Molly and the Freds who spent most of their life, on there doing something, and it has an effect on your brain and how you think and function and your reality. Some things can have a permanent thing even after you're sober. You misremember, you don't know. I mean, that's what happens when you use things.
Well, and that's the thing, most of them are like, well, we don't keep track of time. And it's like, well, even if you may not keep track of time, if it's what you did that day and it was the truth, you're not going to forget about it.
Well, I mean, with their brain stuff, they may have shit. And that's the thing. I mean, I try to give leeway for that for some of them, especially.
Matt Sale, I am going down the rabbit hole, my friend. We are going to be talking about, when I finish this, because I'm about over this shit, to be honest with you. We're going to be talking about a man by the name of Patel. His last name's Patel. Mahendra Patel. Now, Mahendra Patel is accused of trying to grab a 2-year-old from a Walmart. This story is worth going down the rabbit hole, Matt. I did see that story.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like, and there are people, it's like, man, you could go whole days without looking at a phone or do whatever, having a timer, keeping track of something, and you live the country life, you may not pay it, what I mean? And if you're not communicating, a signal down there, I mean, you're mostly just hanging out in the hills. So yeah, there ain't, I mean, you could be present wherever, but have no receipts or ways to tell you time or anything. I'm like, I don't know.
What did you think about the phone call lasting all the way home from Dawn and Candace?
And I know it's a lie.
And I didn't believe that.
But you don't have to me. Dawn says in some of his stuff, he goes, well, the way I knew that Summer hadn't been found is because nobody called me back.
Exactly. That's where I got it. Yeah.
And then another one is that, well, I knew when I pulled up and I could see my neighbor or neighbors, depending on which version.
Yes.
Searching for Summer, my heart's sinking, I knew.
Yep.
And then it changes, right? And then it's, oh no, they're on the phone the whole time. And, oh, it's this, and oh, it's Facebook. But no, it's a cell phone this, and it's bullshit.
Well, and I couldn't understand either, and this was kind of jumped out at me. If the boys were some of the last ones to see Summer, Dawn just drove right by the boys and didn't stop and talk to him. This and he went to the shed. That didn't make any sense to me. I would think that he would have stopped.
But he didn't. He, in order to get to the boys, he had to drive by the shed.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He had to.
All right.
So now he could have maybe seen him down from road, but I don't know about it. But maybe once they'd stood up. But either way, yeah, I mean, he always says he went looking for way, he drove straight down, right? And that means that turn right there into the field beside of that shed, the big one on the main road. And the boys were basically straight ahead and out in that way. And so he drove straight to them, and according to him, and I mean, other witnesses will know, whatever, but at the time I was on, like, more towards the main road, and that shed was in my line, whatever. But
yeah.
I was at that point near there, and I was coming through the last bit of the creek, and then I obviously come into contact with the boys, I think, after Dawn had. Hold on just a minute, I'll be right back.
Okay. Poppy. Do you want people to go watch Stone Vet? Is that what it is? Thank you, Wee. Thank you for gifting a membership. Poppy, I think you got the wrong person. But I don't care if people want to watch Stone Vet. I've watched him before. For real. For real, for real. Oh, did Carla get it? Yay, Carla. No, you're fine, Poppy. You're good. You are good, Poppy. Hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick while I'm waiting on Jody. So let's give her a minute. Let's take a woosah moment. Okay, this is where I ended it yesterday. So let's get through the bathroom break. For real. Okay.
PG and them do. They just don't care whose vehicle they put out, and it's the wrong ones. But what if that gets somebody killed or the wrong part? And on the same panel as Marlena calling people to drive up beside it and blow all our brains out. What happens to the wrong person, the wrong car, and some nutter, I believe it, and they roll up and kill an innocent person, their family.
Don B did that. Don B took a picture of a vehicle in a drive-through restaurant and put it out on social media. License plate and all.
And it's like, I try to be cautious about what I put. It's like, you see me put someone on community post today, but if I was not certain they weren't tied to something, I wouldn't done it. And there's so many I could put their faces and their close-up grill and everything else and their voices and video. I don't even put the ones I know are guilty or fuck on there. You know what I mean? Right. But there are times.
Carla, I'm glad you got it, Carla. Carla's been a part of our channel over here for quite a while. So thank you for that, Thank you, Poppy. You're fine, girl. You are fine. Matthew, I'm not even really mad at you. I just want you to understand that anybody associated with that person, I have to stay away from. I have to. And I'm sure that, you've heard a lot of whatever they want to tell you or whatever. So, I hate that. I really hate that. It's sad. It is really sad.
And I do try to keep it where it's a blurry one. I sort of semi-blur it to where people can't really tell a whole lot.
Right.
But I wouldn't even do that if it was not for certain things that I knew to be, and wasn't absolutely positive of. And but these others, man, it's like Ziggy, that fake stuff she did with vehicles and stuff, and saying Andy and I were up to kinky stuff again. She knew that was fake, and it was actually to have other people, including Monster, try to dox vehicles around and to look like she was responsible for it. There ain't no need for nobody to know what we're coming. I mean, other than to track us, and so that YouTubers or something might get word in of where we are, what we're doing, because I don't really sell summer tape.
Well, I know that they talk about that
when those like Marlena and shit or others out here. They can then know what we're driving and then see us out somewhere and then make calls, just like was done a little night last night, and go, oh, they're up to this, that, and the other. Somebody, they were, like right behind the center bumper, and they were screaming. They can do a lot of things with false calls and Sarah and just start trying, just to torment, terrorize us, do fuck shit and misuse.
Well, that's sad too, because they don't care what they're doing to the kids. They don't care that these kids are fucking scared to death every time they turn around. They have to. You got to pretty much watch your daughter wherever she fucking goes. Now, what kind of life is that for a little girl that because she was neighbors? What kind of life is that for fucking anybody? Whether you're a little girl or not. People don't realize, people who have not really associated with my channel does not realize that I have been stalked for fucking 13 years of my life. 13 fucking years of my life. I have been to court, numerous restraining orders. I started my YouTube channel, and that was, I guess, opening the door for her to go around and demean and slander my name across fucking YouTube. And you know what? It's going to be taken care of legally. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. You guys want to bring my fucking children into it? My children don't have anything to do with my channel. They don't have anything to do with YouTube. They have real lives. Real lives. But y'all want to act like you give a fuck who's mowing my grass? Well, don't worry about it. My kids are not going to be mowing my grass because Obviously, even mowing my fucking grass means they're being stalked. Who fucking stalks anybody while they're mowing the fucking grass? That's fucking weird, right? Fucking weird, right? Of a little girl that went missing. She's in a position where probably the rest of her life she's gonna have
Yeah,
to
been
watch
online about her
herself.
and look what's out there about my son, who I know didn't do a damn thing. Look what they put on him, how that could have, I mean, everything in his life, his whole world, his
It
kids,
could have.
people
Yep.
leaving about jobs, places, do they care? And neither of these kids have done a damn thing in the world. Yeah, they've
Well,
already
I'll
survived.
tell you, I really commended him from going in the military because, if you really think about it,
Their whole life taken up
what
by an
would he
abuser,
have
and
had?
a
Right,
neighbor by the summer, they know really good
right,
parents, and they didn't deserve any of what's been done to them online.
right.
It's a relative that cares about children and young adults, and these children were witnesses and witnesses only.
Yeah, that's
And
sad.
what's been done to them is horrendous.
Well,
Especially
the thing about it is, I think everybody turned a lot of that shit into some kind of fucking sexual
blackmail
shit.
and hurting
Weird.
me, arguing with my children, and hurting them and not caring. They've even accused my son of being all kinds of shit. That was Iggy and Fred.
Let me tell you the bitches who don't care about fucking kids on social media. And I'm not necessarily talking about creators. I'm talking about subs and other fucking people. Most of them people who want to fucking try to do anything they can to ruin people's lives in real life are people who don't have kids, or they have kids and nobody's really looked into their children, right? Where are your fucking kids? But y'all want to run around, don't talk about the kids. But y'all fucking talk about the kids. Why? Why? And this is what people don't understand either. When someone from another state repeats a fucking lie that is told by fucking someone about someone who lives in the same fucking state, maybe a fucking neighbor, I don't know. I'm just using it as an example. And those lies are repeated. Now, I know they're lies, and I know where the lie started because I have it on audio and I played it before. I don't need to play it again. Not for fucking anybody. Except for a judge. Because I'm done. I'm fucking done. So, just remember when someone starts spewing out a bunch of shit out of their fucking mouth and it gets repeated by somebody else, no, your fucking door is where it's going to fucking end up. You're responsible for what you have done, what you have said. You want to play a fucking game? You did it to me in real life when you couldn't do that anymore. The minute you found out I had a YouTube channel, you thought that you were going to go around and slander and demean my motherfucking character. Well, let me tell you, you do not have a channel. You are nothing but somebody's fucking sub. You're not fucking important. So you want to run around and run your mouth to people, other subs on social media, run around demean my fucking character. I hope you're having a good time because it's going to cost you in the end. It's going to cost you in the fucking end. Because let me tell you something. I have what I fucking need. I have what I fucking need. And if you don't think, ma'am, that by the end of it, you ain't going to be paying my fucking lawyer, you're wrong. You wanted to take it here, I'll fucking take it here. Don't act like that you're going to run around YouTube and fucking talk shit about me to people that I actually like, to creators that I actually like. Because all that does is it makes me just stay away from them people. It just makes me stay away from them people, is all that it does. So you might think that you're hurting me in the process, but you're really not. You're really not. What you're doing is you're taking away people really getting to know me, the real me. Because if you think I give a fuck, you're fucking wrong. This is real life. I have you on fucking audio. Every time I come into my house, you call me a whore, a bitch, a slut. You're screaming across the street at 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. Nobody gives a fuck about you, lady. And the ones that do can motherfucking have you. They can have you.
Put
Right.
him in the army in the standard. I know he never what? No, but they didn't care if they got him killed. And that was, areas in the military and an area like they put a target on the U.S. soldiers' back. Everybody just didn't even pause to take a break and think, "Holy shit, Ziggy and Freddy, you serious?" No, it was entertaining.
Right.
And they don't go back to the origin points of.
That's the problem. You think the shit is entertaining. You think that having people on the phone and running your fucking mouth and y'all chuckling in the background because it's fucking funny, you keep on trying to amuse people. Keep lying on me, saying horrendous fucking things, and keep thinking it's fucking funny with your little clique.
Squall used as a form of blackmail, making my child look like nobody ever goes back to that point going, this shit's wrong. This shit is messed up. We're using these children, hurting them. These children deserve to be free.
They absolutely do.
They were freshly released from a situation where their whole lives have been spent around that monster. Traumatized. Some are vanishing. A whole new life for them, and then that essentially being taken away in many ways.
Yeah, that's
by YouTube, who was already hunting them before we were ever public and already saying things about them before we were public. That is not okay.
Well, that's what I said too. I mean, me having my picture put out is not irrelevant compared to what you're going through. But the thing about it is, I was even concerned because of the people that the person who put it out was associating with. I'm talking to you, bitch. Putting my fucking picture of my house out. Now, I kind of joked about it. Ha ha, funny, funny. But it ain't funny. With the people that you fucking hang around with, that shit ain't funny. And then you want to fucking call the cops on me? She's talking about me. No, I don't need to talk about you. I really don't. And I've never really said anything about you. There's nothing to say about you. Nothing. You're not, you don't have any personality. You're not funny. You're kind of ratchet. I mean, isn't that what you like to do? Scream across the street and call me an old hag? What's the fun in that? Right? You need a fucking hobby because your hobby isn't remain calm anymore. I've asked you repeatedly to leave me the fuck alone. But you want to follow me around YouTube. You want to cause havoc with any semblance of a relationship that I might have with any creator on YouTube. And then people wonder, why doesn't Remain Calm really go anywhere on YouTube? Why should I? Why should I? Because y'all like that shit, right? Oh, I wouldn't care about somebody walking around in their underwear. Girl, I lived in an apartment complex when I was in high school. This guy every day would know when we came home from school, and he would be standing in front of his window bare ass naked. He really would. Now, we just giggled and fucking went our own way and went home. But now, years later, you think about that. That's pretty fucking weird, right? That some dude's going to be standing bare ass naked in an open window around the time that the schoolgirls are coming home. Now I can think about that as weird shit. As weird shit. And like I said, I'm not telling you guys to believe Jody or not believe Jody. I personally don't care why you like Jody or don't like Jody. I don't know. I've never, I've stayed in my lane on that. For real. Stayed in my fucking lane. But, it is pretty disappointing to, um, even, even if things are not true, even if what's being said to me about some things are a lie, it's just the whole thought of it. It's just the whole fucking thought of it. So, I'm like, you never know what them fucking people are gonna do. You never know.
Before we were even public, what happened was obviously they found Andy's mom's post online first like 24 hours. But
Yes,
they took it as she lived on the property,
I remember
right?
seeing
So
her
they're
post.
always
Yeah.
the wrong people, and they couldn't quite figure it out for the longest time. But she put my kids out there. She's like, "Oh, my daughter-in-law and the
Yes.
kids, you know."
Right.
And then it was like, "Holy shit!" So they're hunting us, but they're hunting all the wrong people. They're hunting
Right.
her, and then
Right.
we can be hopeless. Started contacting her. I was like, "Probably ain't right. Somebody stop talking to them." But she didn't. And then, we're being hunted by Fustos and Tiffany and everybody else, and Linda's and everybody. And then Dawn and them start feeding out all our private information to Prayer Garden and all them. Squall knows who we are. She's visiting. Everybody know. And so then we start really bad. And before we even knew, we didn't, And then what you have is, I didn't know it was time the type of manipulation, but we have one of the players, one of the fake ones, taking my daughter's very first dance photo, and her brother and I are getting her ready, and we're under the memory tree.
Oh, thanks,
And that we
Mama.
call it because it's where all our family major events we
She's
take
super
pictures.
sensible.
And they took it, and it was a
Dude.
beautiful moment between us because we were free together. We were in Squall's group on purpose. They took a photo and tried to make my son look like Hunter and Eric. I was Hunter, but I didn't realize it was alluring in a way to trigger that mama bear response and get me to talking.
Right.
And then I came here thinking, okay, here these we're in danger. I didn't know that they were already circling the house, hiding in the sense of, and then here we are. Moved
Right.
I panic with these PTSDs in. Andy's really going back, he's stepping on properties. He's talking about family, seeing what we're doing. What I mean, I was in, and then here's this picture of my littles who I wanted to pick.
That's
And then
what's
they knew how to get stuff, and they knew how do you manipulate a mom or somebody coming out other than. So that
See, that's so messed up. I don't care if you guys believe it or not. The whole situation was messed up. What was the reason for it? What is the reason for any of this shit? People went after Jody. She's a grown-ass woman. But to try to manipulate kids, it's fucking weird. It's weird.
thought, well, if I put out the series videos, I'll give them a bigger picture, leave us alone. Oh, it looks nice. No, and they've never stopped using my kids against me or to target. And it's
Yeah, that's exactly what I seen. They did. They went after your kids so bad.
they did.
I remember a couple of people that I was told about it, and then I went to find it where they were talking about your daughter doing something, and I'm like, she's a little fucking girl. Why
Andy
would
said
you put that on her name?
that happened. Annabelle and Sage and Dazed all played.
Yep,
He
that's
was sitting
right.
there
Yep.
advertising them. He gave them permission to be on the property after he was over.
That's
Like,
exactly
oh,
I heard that.
and,
Yeah,
but he allowed Cher to take off that narrative and to put up those pictures equating
why would he
living
do
out
that?
in a motel, and he didn't care. He didn't care
That
in
is
the
so messed up.
But then what he asked me for a couple days ago when he came out, can I have pictures of the kids? Really? Really? Even little
Wow.
girl, you so pissed off at that you threw away first, thinking about her. Also, shit, you
Right.
tried to blackmail when you forced the last interaction to call with, and knew clearly she wanted no contact. You already said, and you.
Now, I am going to say this. That stuff had nothing to do with Summer. How did any of that have to do with Summer? Stalking Jody, talking about her kids, doing weird shit like that. How did that help Summer's case? And the thing about it is, I don't care if you guys like Andy. It has nothing to do with Summer's case at all. Jody's DV has to be kept separate from Summer's case. I mean, I think it's horrific that she had to go through that and it had to be so public. But look what is happening with me. The horrific things that people are saying about me and my family. I mean, for what? For what? What purpose does it serve? And I got news for someone. If they really think that anybody gives a fuck that she's about to get in big trouble for what came out of her mouth, I don't know what to fucking tell her, because it'll be somebody else's content. I can guarantee you that. So I don't know. I guess that's the type of attention that some people want, right?
Wanted to use her, and Jenny and Adrian want to get hands on her so they could pump her for all the little witness info and
That's so
database.
sad.
He's gross. He's gross. His wife's gross. His realm's
How can
gross.
that not be illegal? How could that not be
It is.
somehow an illegal
It is,
act?
but good luck unless you're in a fucking body bag or someone else take it fucking seriously,
Yeah,
apparently.
that's true. You're right
But
about
then,
that.
Jenny and Adrian chasing on going behind you and contacting courts and DAs and the DV places and
For
those
what?
reports,
Why
shit.
were they so adamant? This is just a question I have, because to be honest with you, I mean, I know who
They
those
would
creators
shut
are,
up
but I
and they
never
learned to
paid
act
much
like
attention.
I
Why?
wouldn't cooperate with them. I wouldn't give them info. I wouldn't give them all the shit they wanted that I knew.
Right,
And
exactly.
they thought next best thing will get little because she's been around around
Right,
thing,
right.
right?
But
And
why
then
were they so willing? Why were they so willing to come out here in Andy's defense? Why is that? Why were they
because
also?
cleaning
There's
him
some
would
of them
hurt
are
me.
still doing it.
Because cleaning him would hurt me, making him look like whatever, making me look like a herd. Amber or Johnny, would hurt me. It takes my voice as a domestic violence fighter to
Right,
survivor. It also tears me down. I
right.
deserve
I
to be
get it.
punished for not giving them everything. They wanted people not to believe me about the scamathon, the way they all
Right. You know, that's the way these people were. But if that was happening to them, if the tables were turned and that was happening to them, they would feel totally different. They would feel totally different. You know, there's people that's done things to Jody that has actually said to me, I wish I hadn't have done that. I did that not knowing, right? Yes, yes, the scamathon. There was a few of them, Mama Bear. There was a few of them. No, nobody's saying, I'm not saying anything like that, super sensible. No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine, super sensible. You're fine. I mean, I'm not looking at you any type of way at all. I don't I know a little bit about that, but I don't know a lot about it. So, I'm not saying anything about you, period. Whatever happened, happened. But there have been people who have done and said things to Jody that now they're like, I wish I wouldn't have done that, or I wish I wouldn't have said that. But like I said, there's like a divide there. Andy, Jody, their DV, and Summer's case. That has to be separated to a certain extent, for sure. I don't like Andy either. I don't hide that fact, but to each their own. There's a lot of people that do like Andy. He must be a pretty personable person, right?
operate, what they do, how far they go, or Jenny crying and being like, "Oh, Andy, if I've got his info," and but if we say it can get a woman and her child killed, implied me and little, and
Right.
next thing you know, they do it. Like it wasn't bad enough
Right.
for Andy, y'all did it and all, and he's fine with it. He knows that could get behind little Mark. Did he care? No. Do they care?
That's
Nope.
what's
But
sad.
that shows intent in any criminal court, and there's
Right.
no statute on it that Jenny and Adrian were indeed
Right.
aware.
Honey, I super sensible. Look, Sage, I don't know anything about it. I really don't. I know that I heard two people. I didn't hear them, but I was told about 2 people that actually came out and said that her daughter was guilty of what happened to Summer. I don't know. It was weird shit. It was weird shit. But I'm not going to sit here and say that I know for a fact anybody did anything. Um, that's not how I roll over here. May May, I love you, May May. But Jody, quit including Sage in that. So, like I said, Jody mentions people, and the thing about it is, a lot of what she mentions, I personally don't know. Okay, I personally don't know for real, and I'm not gonna sit over here and act like I do. And like I said, I didn't even see it firsthand, them talking about her daughter, but I do know that there were 2 people that on a platform was saying things about her daughter. So,
Way before they did something, it could get someone killed,
right,
intimidated, been done to us, and create what's created, and then if they went ahead and did it anyway.
right.
That right there shows the intent. And it can, because of what we are around everything, plus all these other things, it can very much get them charged. That doesn't go away.
There's a,
And
looking in, if you really, and people, I don't think have really went back intensely in the, with all of the money, different money things going on. If I really believe if law enforcement really wanted to dig deep, there's a lot of people that could be charged with a lot of different things.
no, absolutely. And I know law enforcement feds are aware, but I mean, look at even Coop when they finally did the check and all everything
Yep.
released miles high.
Yeah.
Even he says this group, this well organized group over YouTube and Facebook race. So they know there's groups operating together, just like Sebastian's and others.
Exactly, right.
Group. He says they raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. But wait, under the name of what? Oh, a reward for Summer. All of that. Do you think people gave hundreds of thousands of dollars to creators and only 80 to Summer? No. Watch the sleight of hand they pulled up first, though. It was run to this room, run to that room. They're building creators and
Right.
chats and drawing
Exactly. Yep.
one box. And then it was, oh, well, 20.
From my understanding, there's still a reward for Summer. 2 different individuals. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, girl. 2 different individuals have said that if Summer's found or any information's given to find Summer, then they will gladly give the money. They did not put it in the bank. They pledged it, is what they did. But these 2 individuals, both amounts were pretty high dollar amounts, and they chose to keep that money themselves, but said any information or anything that found Summer, they definitely will say that. I don't look. I could say that Andy was on the road, and I could swear up and down that I have proof Andy's on the road. But if I don't show that proof, what is it? What's it mean? Right? Oh, I thought you were already a member, Jackie. Right? I don't know who that is. I don't think I know who that is. I didn't see a Luna 3, but okay. Congratulations, Luna 3.
The chat, besides the 20% or whatever YouTube takes, will go to Summer's phone. Oh, do this intake method. Western Union, not necessarily have people so
Right.
confused in all ways. And then, like Scott H. was like, oh, no, everything ain't my channel. Okay, my channel. Let's don't go to Summer.
Right.
What? You know?
Yep.
No. Even Coop and them are aware of what can be seen publicly now.
Right.
It'll be
Right.
forensic accounting, feds, IRS, all that to get involved to see what was taken in totality. But just what they can see in the foreground during what, like,
And let me tell you guys something. I would not want to be law enforcement trying to figure out all the reward fund shit and everything else. I would not want that job. I can tell you that right now.
10 days. They kept it going longer than it was supposed to originally.
Right.
hundreds of thousands of dollars for rates and cooping in the. Do you think people gave hundreds of thousands for Summer, or do you think they gave hundreds of thousands for some asshole like Scottish tells I baked fucking cornbread?
Yep.
You know, it's bullshit. What was done was a scamathon, and I've never lied about it.
Well, I couldn't never figure out, Jody, how these fucking people were. And see, Scott H has been over my channels a couple times, and I love talking to Scott H because, you know, he would talk about the area and all that stuff. But when I was kind of like, this shit is weird, is when Frank Light's sister AC was up on my panel and Scott came up on my panel. And instead of talking about, you know, Summer and the area and shit, AC starts talking about her grandma's cooking and all this other shit. It was fucking weird. That live is out there because I was like, look, I gotta go. I personally wasn't interested in anybody's baking at the time. Found like what's his name?
There is still a reward, innocent until proven guilty. It resides with the two men who initially gave. There is a reward for Summer, and it stands. If something leading or whatever to Summer,
to an arrest or information, yes,
it is still there. There is actually a reward for Summer. Yes, I'm sure Marlene and him are low, but I think it should. I think all rewards around all missing children or murdered children or missing or murdered women at this point. Anybody. I think all rewards should be off limits and not touchable by a family. I don't think they should be touchable by anyone on social media. Any person around their life speaking on social media, or anybody inserting from social media into or getting like, say like the Benny or Chase, or if they have access to properties to where they can pick up shoes or keto water bottles, or embed in search crews like Annabelle Online. Nope. If you've had any affiliation in any way with social media, you cannot collect a reward. End of story. That's the way I feel about it.
Well, you know? I think the two main benefactors of that did the right thing when they were like, we will donate or not donate, we'll pledge it, but only give it if information comes out that leads to an arrest.
And I think they did as well.
Because that's what happened with the rest of it. I mean, Churchill thought that they were going to get the money. I mean, geez.
I mean, what they thought necessarily. I mean, I don't hold Churchill all like, I don't think they're up to no hinky stuff. I just think that it's not used to holding boards like that. They didn't know what to do, so they just set up the best they knew how at the time.
Well, you got to remember, too, I mean, they were doing a little bit of funding themselves because they weren't getting the money in there to even have their emergency vehicles running. I mean, that was pretty wild.
But I think it was always meant to go to one child. I don't know, but I mean,
Child Advocate Office, yeah.
The first few days, I really thought, wow. And I remember telling Candace, I'm like, bro, there's these people and they're really trying to help. I think Summer, and this will be cool, you know. And then I didn't know, and Candace never made me aware that she knew this group. It turns out once later, like I had no idea they knew. She's like, oh, that's cool. And so then it turns out though, Candace and on here, they were playing fully with the group. They knew behind the scenes. I didn't know that the one squad was actually pissed over was the one that was literally said by Sharon them as they were talking to Don behind the scenes with We Can Leave You Hopeless and J4 all the players.
Right.
That one squad was planning. It never got lifted off. But even Sharon's like, oh yeah, we'll fake out millions around the world. We'll give them some lie that you need a lawyer or something on. But then that was set up to where We Can Leave You Hopeless people or whatever over there. They can either take control of it and keep it, or they had the option of giving it to the parents. What the hell is that?
That's I don't know why their names were on that too. To go to
they were doing stuff, man. They were contacting us, and then it turns out they're connected to Seraphina and Sweetie Pilo. Like they were contacting Andy's mom in the first days, wanting info. I was like, probably nobody contacting right now is going to be helping someone. There's real feds here. Stop talking to her.
Right. Yeah, that's so messed up.
And they were having her believe they were religious and whatever, but it went hard to look at her social media and be like, she's religious. Let's use that.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And they had, you know, like, it's fucked up what they did, you know?
Well,
and then
it's like, I don't know. It's like they just wanted to just destroy. I don't understand why they wanted to immediately come out and destroy people's characters and look into their family and find every little thing they could find. And
look what they did to Footprint Guy. I remember sending me the screenshot of him. He said something, and I think I got one where he was actually correcting because the cops had told him that to be very nuanced in what he said. That way people weren't calling him and inundating him with bullshit.
Right.
And so he corrected whatever it was. And they still called him a liar and this there because law enforcement, and they ate him. But then later on, they wanted him back, didn't they? But it's too late.
Yeah, that was weird.
Notice they only do that to real people who might hold real shit or real witnesses.
And that was messed up because he never came back out really again, did he?
No.
And I always thought that was sad.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It seems like they look at what they do in every case. They always target real witnesses and real neighbors. They always pick one or two. They target the absolute shit out of it. Right. They've done it before. They've done it in Quentin Simons. They've done it in Quentin or in Cash and Classic and Sinceres. They always pick a neighbor. Look, I hope for Jeremy and the Anon guy and all them, right? Piper tried to latch on to sleep in their damn drive and fucking went psycho on them too, like she did Andy. just that lady, right? But they always pick one or two. But now they're getting worse about it. What they're actually doing is trying to create a realm where they create this bubble of, I think, what they're wanting is reasonable doubt or something, right? And continue to want to be jury pools or the public mind about cases like they've done in Reed's, and to where then people can, I think they're working with defense attorneys. I think in places like Reed's and Quentin Simons, they'll work with Leilani's or other cases.
Right.
And, they will help those most likely to be responsible for things in a symbiotic way to destroy and to target witnesses and people who lived around them in order to get them to shut up, the silent, the public not. The other day, and I've not kept up with Delphi. I'm not a true crime junkie. I don't whatever, but I know they're there too. That released the audio tapes him actually confessing.
They did. Yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
And they kept him quiet in court for a reason. When those audio tapes hit the other day, people were like, "Oh my God, no wonder the jury." But in those same massive chats in Real News, because I went over here on YouTube, I was on Real News site. People were like, "Oh, I don't believe it. They're messing with him, and medicines and Odin guards," and I'm like, "Oh, and that's the shit I've seen these same people fucking with us in Summer's case put out in Delphi." Even Stacey Slay, the fake Fed penny feed, was in Delphi. She's an abundance case all the way back to what? Like, these people have been doing this for so long. And same players, same unit of a well-organized. I'm not lying, and I'm not crazy.
No, you're not crazy. No, absolutely not.
It's horrendous what's being done to our justice system, the branches, our rights, freedoms, and what's going to be done to shut this type of thing down if people do not stop it. What's being done to these cases is, if you want real justice for these babies and women and the vulnerable and those who crimes have been committed against, man, you want this to stop.
Yeah,
you want to get information in real time for law enforcement and families. You then want to stop this, or you want to go to more responsible creators that actually talk about the facts. Do just air whatever. And having an opinion is fine, share that, but the salaciousness, the extreme crime aspect, the actual getting off the ride and petting the animals, the stalking, the crime aspect of it, you need to stop. When you see real crimes being committed in and around, real crimes put online, there's a problem.
That's what gets me too, because I don't see how people can be okay with the harassment and acting like it's like people don't care. People don't care.
I in heart people, especially as they stay more on devices. As the pandemic played roles in it too, but we're pushing more and more now to stay in. They're taking away places for us to all come together. It's a fear-driven society on the news. It's almost like there's going to be attacked. There's going to be a BOMB somewhere by some terrorist, or some kid going to take off with you. Or MS-13 is going to show up in your tiny little neighborhood and take off your kids or you. Everybody's afraid. And then they just are on electronics, and they're just hearing and entering algorithms and being pumped in television. And
definitely.
Terrible. They forgot neighborhood, community, human beings. That the world's not as bad as they think. People aren't being snatched left and right. Children aren't being thrown out of every yard, and people are losing their ability to communicate, eye contact, everything's attention span. They're not.
Exactly.
I think it's a terrible world. And then places like this are thriving. And in it, me and Little were talking about it. It's like, you are really going to have real predators here.
Yes.
Watching this is spank material of people that they want to commit crimes like they're watching.
And this is what gets me. There's a little missing girl. Why would you want to put another child out in a open situation on social media where people take things real life? Why would you want to do that? That always really got to me when it comes to the kids. And it does get to me. Why do people want to fuck with people in their real life? Like I said, Jody's just giving us her truth on what the fuck people were doing to her. That is what she's doing. You can believe it or not believe it. But why do people in other states that don't even know these people think that it's okay to do shit like that? Why? Why do they think it's okay to talk about your kids, talk about your life, act like they fucking know you? They're quick to fucking repeat lies. Why do they do that? Why do they do that? Why do they fiercely run across social media? Don't talk about the kids. Don't talk about the kids. But y'all want to talk about people's fucking kids, right? Y'all want to make shit real life? Guess what? This is my real life. And if y'all think that I'm going to sit back and fucking allow the fucking lies, the slander, the defaming my fucking character, fucking talking about my fucking family, you're fucking crazy. You're crazy. And I'm going to make this shit stop. I'm making it fucking stop. Because I'm big on that.
What
I
do you
can't
remember
stand
Ziggy?
people who talk to fucking kids.
Hey, they already doxed the location is there, but then Ziggy does the drive-by video on how to get here for everyone, airs it out in the world, tries to make us look like whatever, laughs, honks, shows her daughter how to start, do all things, right? This is not the first time she's been Jennifer and all them helped in it.
Right.
All these things all the times. But, and Nana, who's Summer's champion, you know, and all this, I don't find that cute. But you remember, right as all that was occurring, she was proclaiming that BK was a danger to her and all this and her daughter, and she had orders in place against Jim and whoever else it was.
Yes.
And nobody needed her address. No God, but here we were with a real monster who obviously knows where we live, you know,
Exactly.
but the public didn't, and they didn't need to know. And we're in real danger. We're trying to heal. We're trying to do all these things. And here she goes. Not only are we dox people, she does a video to show people how to get here.
Right.
In real time, which was even less helpful. And knowing we had real orders, a real abuser, and Ziggy, I mean, her whole channel, she literally monetized on my name while showing pictures of my domestic violence, my cancer.
Yeah,
and
that
in
was
the same
bad.
breath, the same sentence, said, "Oh, I monetized a lot." Her channel had finally got enough views on me all summer.
See, that's what happened with Jody too. Anywhere where she went, you know, everybody was quick to defame her character. They were quick to say that, you know, I am not going to sit here and say that Jody didn't have a part in the DV with Andy. I'm sure they did. She was with him since she was 11 years old. 11 years old. These are people from other states that don't personally know her. Now, there's some that do personally know her. You can go back and find where they came out and talked about her. I am not here to fucking tell you to believe what Jody Sue says or not. Yeah, drama queen's all right.
But me, and she put it.
Don't you think it's fucking weird? Where does nobody think it's fucking weird that for 13 fucking years, somebody has been fucking with me? Now they want to fuck with me on social media. They want to make sure that I don't befriend anybody on social media. Okay? The minute that I say that I like a creator, guess what? I'm going to tell Matthew. What the fuck are you going to tell Matthew on me? If Matthew wants to know something about me, Matthew knows he can ask me. And guess what? I ain't going to fucking lie to him. So y'all can keep in whoever's ear that you want. It is just sad that people that I really like on social media, I have to step back and stay away from their channel. I don't want to go up on their panel and have fun. Because guess what? All they're going to be told is a bunch of fucking lies. A bunch of lies. And I have every lie. I have everyone who repeated it. I have it all. I have it all. And I've sat here and pretty much kept my mouth shut. For sure. Pretty much kept my mouth shut.
See, and she can't go back from it. Her channel and her Discord are monetized on my name, my domestic violence, my cancer. Well, she'd already come out, obviously, the fake DCS stuff and everything. It's gross what Ziggy's done. But yeah, Ziggy clearly didn't care if she put some other woman's child in danger. Nobody's ever cared. I mean, like, man, you know, and you're right. I do have to keep eyes on those. I always worry. But it's like, you know, I just, yeah. But, and they didn't care, and they still don't care.
Yeah, that's just sad to me because we don't know what happened to Summer, you know.
To me.
Yeah. That's what kind of got me about Marlena. She was like, Fred, if you were trying to get my kid taken, I'm going to come for you, get people to take my kid. And I'm like, where is all that shit coming from?
You talked to her buddy Lips over there, bro. And that's the thing. I know Marlena, and I have it on recording. I have it on fucking recording. When I was like, that shit was Lips. And Marlena was 2 hours somewhere. She was staring at the phone. She's like, oh, really? Like, she was on like,
Thank you, Sage.
and, you know, but now Lips are like, oh, now Marlena. Like, is Marlena?
Look, I know I could go over to Matthews. He's not going to let
that fucking shit happen over there. For real. But I don't know. I don't know. The sad thing about it is, it's what people say to you behind the scenes. And if it makes you question anything, I'm just the type of person, I don't want to go back and forth with fucking people. I don't need to go back and forth with people to show my true character. I really don't need to do that. So, if people think that I'm a certain way because of what others are saying, or lies that they're telling, I don't have time to go try to prove my innocence to anybody. I don't have time for that. Except for with a judge in a court of law.
Entirely in Werewolf Lives It? No. But now she's gonna put that shit on Brandon, right? Like, bro, it was lips doing all, but also Marlene knows truth, which is her kid was being taken in. I mean, so there are two parts to that, of course. But I don't get it.
I wasn't talking about us people, Debbie. I was talking about them people. Because we did care. I'm talking about them people. I'm not talking about us people. It's just so
like,
sad.
look at them. Everybody else, like, they're not. It's okay for all them to have like these wishes, all this stuff. I mean, they got to the point, and what sticks to me is like even Andy. He was they're not there putting out paper towel wish lists, whatever for Marie. I don't know what's going on. I was just told about it because I don't watch. I really have not. I know anything I'm doing. No, I'll download and that's it, right? But anyway, it's like Andy stood there and had Annabelle on him and like smiling on. Look what they did with Little's list or anything, like
Right.
hers is celebrated. I mean, they keep people from anything. Like they would just look at all this stuff. It's a wish list, man. It doesn't mean she's And then she just started putting shit on her troll. But like Smiley, look at her. There was a food product on there, some sort of like Japanese snack, and she was like, "Oh, this is to spread her private parts with." And look at all this.
Oh my god,
this whore clothing. So she's. I mean, I was.
Yeah, give me just a second, Jody. Give me a second, and I'll drop the link for you.
I've got that.
I'm gonna play this. I just need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
On my channel, it's like this is what they did with Little's wish list.
Yeah, that's messed up.
That's disgusting.
That is disgusting.
And then Benny Keys over going, "Oh, she wants these patches for Little's a clothing designer."
Right.
So then Benny's like, "Oh, patches for her knees because I assume she's going to need them by being on." I'm like,
that's so messed up.
And then they were like, "Oh, just so they were taking."
What got me though, Jody? They would say shit like that. Then they'd be like, "Oh, come over here and talk to me, Jody. Come over here and talk to me. I'm not gonna say nothing mean about you. Come over here and talk to me." And then even if you did talk to them, they would turn around and within an hour be dogging on you again anyway. So what difference did it make?
And they do that to Little, they do it to myself, and then they cash up on it. They live on it. These creators who are nobody anything, they get to live. They make fortunes off of. If we throw cash up, we're damn us to hell, right?
Yep.
Or if our channels are monetized, damn us to hell.
Yep.
They call us inserters, but no, we're actually here in real life. It's our images, our names, and whatever we say that the content's made from. Right?
That's right.
These people on YouTube, for the most part, are not here in the community. They didn't know Summer. They had no right to stalk, go real life, send local stalkers in, pay those like these fucking other dopehead locals to get up to shenanigans in real life, pit people.
I couldn't understand that, Jody. I still can't. I keep thinking, and I know I'm just beating myself in the head about this. Who the fuck got a hold of someone like Brad Wishon to get involved in Summer's case? And
from my understanding, I think it was Linda and all them. He started his channel. No, Tiffany Marie took credit for that. She said she found Chase because he started a channel and he was making a video by the Meadows. But actually, Wishon was sent there to make that video, and Linda and him were driving around everywhere. Tiffany didn't ask, but they did find probably his channel somehow, and they can figure out his name real quick. Background pulling, he's a criminal, most likely to get things for a little money. Probably didn't think it would go as far as it did. Do a little driving for him, whatever. It came more, and he couldn't get out of it. And out of the circle jerk he was in.
Right.
And the criminal aspect of it, and he didn't realize how he too was being set up. I tried to warn that dumbass. I was like, they are going to fuck you up and leave you holding that bag while you're saying it, but then he played in it,
Right.
And so either way, but it was Tiffany Marie says she found him, and he created a channel just for. And then the Meadows videos, right? No, they weren't. They asked him to go do this.
Yeah, I can see that.
Somebody somewhere near him, and I'm going to buy it with Linda and brought him in. They were to drive around and do things.
Right.
And, yep.
Well, that's what got me. I'm like, he fucking comes out. Oh my God, Grandma's a hero. Summer's in Indiana. Da 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 da. They're just trying to find out who the woman was that took her off the hill, and da 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 da. And I'm like, who the fuck would come up with a story like that?
And people on my Facebook, they forget that's part of what really set me off. Because a couple weeks before that, Penny and Chase on had tried to use it as a form of blackmail to shut me up and to keep from tearing down and breaking down that marathon. Right when they knew I was calling it out, starting to.
Right.
They told me that feds basically told them that, and they were going to go get her, and they were at. They were just having to wait a certain amount of days. No, That ain't feasible. They know where someone's at. They're going to kick the damn door in. They
That's
ain't gonna
right. Yep.
And then, like, wait a minute. Common sense says, what's this got to do with me? Why do I have to go quiet and silent for so many days so they can kick a door in or something? That don't make sense.
Yeah.
And what are you trying to do here, pal? And then they were trying one thing after the next. And they're like, you want more money? And I was like, what the hell did Brad just say to me? I was like, what do you mean more money? Because I'm not taking it. And that's when the light bulb lit. I was like, these motherfuckers know what to say. Like,
I am.
oh, you dirty bastards, right?
Right.
And they killed themselves. And it's some of the receipts I've shown. And that they were apparently having things sent to P.O. boxes under their names and all this other shit that we didn't know about. I mean, this is insane.
Yeah, I heard about that too. I heard about the P.O. boxes.
Now, there's different ones. Something was happening. Apparently, I think, and here's what I think, like, PG is so worried and obsessed about this narrative, about this car.
Is it legal there, May? Is it legal there? I mean, if it's legal there, maybe that's why they didn't say anything. I know that in some states you have to have over a certain amount. Just a taser and a baton and handcuffs. Well, I would think that the taser would work, right, May? Wouldn't a taser work? I don't know.
Birds and whatever else in this supposed fight between Candace and I. And I can tell you to this day, Candace and I have never had an argument. Not once. All right? Never. And so, PG is just trying, even though she's taking live down, but I have it. She tried to shit with me on panel one time. She said, oh, I heard you in Candace fight and the cards or whatever it was. I don't know. And I'm like, no, you didn't, man. And she's like, yeah, I did. And most people give in to them, like, oh, whatever. And they'll just go, hell no, I ain't stopping. You ain't gonna put some shit on me.
Right,
like,
right.
Hey, I'm not a Marlene Fred. I'm not gonna go with you. And
right.
Like, oh, I ain't got here where you say. I just got fuck you, PG, fuck you, ZE, fuck you, Daisy, everybody else. I'm not built like that. You ain't gonna get me to go along with whatever.
Well, there was a shitload of people who came out and said that Don and Candace had a fucking shit ton of gift cards, I guess, and they were just handing them out to people.
They were getting money and stuff like that. I thought most of that was being sent to the command post or something or whatever to their own mailboxes. I didn't know. I didn't ask. Wasn't none of my business. Now was it?
Right.
And so I didn't give a whip stitch, you know?
Right.
And so then what happens is PG over here, like, she backs down and she's like, you're right, it was so and so heard it from. And wait, you're right. But, you know, when I went back down, I was like, bitch, I've never had an argument with Candace and you ain't heard me nothing.
Right.
And
he's never had an argument with Candace. That's interesting, right? Because that's what everybody wanted people to think, was that Jody and Candace were fighting all the freaking time. 18. I thought they had to be 21 to buy alcohol. I don't know.
So she changed her tune. And for a while, when she thought she was going to get me a beer buddy, she changed her tune. Now she is super stressing in again on those P.O. boxes, car, whatever, right? I think what began occurring was after Dawn dogs the cabinet or whatever, and he used the scream. I think people were like, oh, it haunts that poor lady. Wanted to see what they could do for poor lady, right?
Right.
And Dawn, Candace, and probably PG, because she was script writing in there still, and a bunch of others like Benny, who was directing P.O. box shit,
right?
And people do handoffs. I don't know, but all I know is I'm gonna bet you PG's dirty hands are in there somewhere in PG and Squalls.
It's only 18 to buy liquor in Jersey. I thought it was 21 everywhere. I don't know, though. I don't live in Jersey. Yeah, he probably didn't want to have to take 10 people into jail, especially school kids.
I don't know. We're taking money from those two, or there was an agreement of payment or something. But
yeah, something was happening. I mean, something was happening throughout
that she wants it laid off that way. There's something wrong with that. And I hate to tell her this, but the post office, they clearly scan every piece of mail. You know they were going to at that point.
Right.
You know Candace and Dawn, those numbers will then align with whoever spent those wherever. And it ain't me, man. I wasn't getting shit. But I'm gonna bet Candace and Dawn knew. And here, there was a slip up in the road like a few days before we moved fully out. Candace was down there at the bottom. It's not or something. She tried to hand me cash. And she's like, oh, here, to pay back for this in case y'all need it. It's like, no, man, y'all need that. You keep it, whatever. I was like, I've got money. And I did.
Right.
And so, and she's like, no, I think we accidentally got something for you. And she just clipped her fucking tongue. And I was left weirded out. I didn't know what she meant. I was like, what the hell? But I let it go. But it's always stuck in my brain.
Right.
And then because I hear PG saying at a certain point on her channel, years ago, whatever, I'm like, there's something there. And now PG keeps laying in the narrative.
18.
I think it was her who was script writing, and by her own admission, covering up for the Wells. Yeah, I think all them had some fucking agreement.
Yeah,
going
and
on.
you gotta remember too that
I think in
that's
the
what
back of
I
their mind, had
thought.
people sending stuff
21
for the poor
across the
traumatized neighbor lady.
states.
Well, guess what? Poor traumatized neighbor lady never got none of this shit.
Never got
And
none of it. Yep.
it was
Yep.
split, taken off by all them, Benny's, Squall, PG, Candace, Dawn. Damn sure, if y'all ever sent something, please call FBI,
I can
call
see that
IRS,
happening too.
call the mail, because it never got to me. It wasn't for me, nor was I asking, and nor was I damn receiving not 1 cent, not a card, nothing. PG and all them got some fuck shit going though that you all should help track down and figure it out and turn in if you really want to be of help. You know,
But I
they're
don't,
dangerous.
that's the problem, Jody. I don't think anybody wants to look at the.
I do not watch Prayer Garden. I do not. I don't watch any of them. From the beginning, there were a lot of creators who came out in Summer's case that I became familiar with them, and then I didn't watch them anymore. There was no need to watch them anymore. It quit being about Summer really quickly with a lot of these people. A lot of these people.
You
Look
can
at
worry about it.
underneath that shit.
And then what I hold as proof that this world doesn't know, and I've not put out yet as proof on Tiffany Marie's involvement on that, Scott H's, the rest, that would be for the other P.O. boxes under Summer's name.
Exactly.
And
Right.
all of their roles in that Benny was ordering the handoffs between Gemini, Ginger
Right.
Snap, 2 others, and Brad.
They
And I've
cotton
got proof of
candy.
all that, and proof y'all have not even seen on an abundance of creators involved in having it sitting there that want to play angelic heroes. Oh, but they were all up shit. And people here locally saying they were sending stuff. And remember that Summer Wells P.O. Box was supposed to be only getting decorations. But then you remember the fake fight between Tiffany Marie, Ginger Snap, and One Face. You know, it was all nonsense.
Right.
And that included that P.O. Box and all the criminal stuff. But yeah, I mean,
that was
they
really
were
sad.
stuff in checks and money and everything was being sent to whatever that one was too. And I got
And a lot of these people, like I said, that she's mentioning, I don't know them. I don't, I really never watch their channels if they're creators. So no, I personally don't know them or what they talked about or what they did. I don't freaking know.
to tell you, that wasn't going to Neighbor Lady either. Hate to
Right.
tell you, you know. But
I don't
TV
know. I mean, I go back to that shit with Ernie and Benny and freaking Candace. All that shit was just weird fucking shit to me.
it's all
Weird
scripted
shit.
and play and goofy stuff. That
Well, don't forget, Prayer Garden admitted that she was writing the letters to Summers kidnappers and shit that Don
Yeah.
Wells was putting out as his own writings. She admitted to that.
I don't know why he was doing that. I don't think a lot of people have caught on. Do you know why he was doing that?
Why?
That really began after he knew that Peter Hyatt had done a piece on Candace and what
Right.
she had said. He became aware they were looking at their writing or
Right.
speech patterns and they could do that.
That's
And
right.
so having someone like Prayer Garden or others do that or tell them what to say before WJHL even in their
Yep.
first interview and things like that,
Yep.
contaminated and made it.
There were many people telling them how to dress, how to act, what to say, telling them to look into other missing children's cases and different shit like that. There were many people doing that. The words in the letters that Dawn Wells spoke to Summer and her kidnappers were not even his own words. They were made up by someone else.
To where anybody like analysts for the feds or they thought, I think, in my opinion, couldn't read them or something.
Don and Candace, absolutely. Yes, he did. Rest in peace, Peter Hyatt. That is sad, Cotton Candy, that he passed away. They absolutely, you can hear them in the first WJHL interview when Don said, Summer was. And then he's like, oh, wait a minute. I know people are going to take that as something that it's not. They caught on to their speech patterns, their behavior. They caught on to that stuff very quickly from watching people on YouTube.
I mean, when it's not your words, right?
Right. Well, we know that Cher admitted that she told Don how to wear a dress shirt for interviews, and I if I remember correctly, admitted to having him look up
Yes.
missing children's cases prior and shit
Or
like
do you know
that.
how he would look up how to pass it, but he would have other ones do it on pass the line, this air or whatever it
Right.
was. I think it's PG that said that too, or somebody.
These creators admitted to it. They admitted to doing it. I mean, was it a big deal? Not necessarily. Not necessarily, but you know, Cher came out and admitted it. I don't think PG admitted to writing the letters for quite a while, but I don't understand why be so adamant to help Don Wells, then turn on him very quickly. That never made any sense to me, but to each their own, you know.
Right? They're like, oh, but then it turns out, and they're fully aware. But the reason Don, I just feel this in my soul. He'd be like, oh, I'm tickler. Will you do it for me? You look it up. He thinks he's on an iPhone. The feds can't do anything in real time. I ain't recording.
Right.
He gets somebody else to look up whatever it is for him, and then it's not in search history. Now, is it?
That's true. You're right. It's not.
What do you do when you want witnesses and others to shut up too?
Well, I mean, the thing of what people need to realize, if law enforcement wanted Jody, they know where Jody's at. They
Yep.
know that they can get a hold of her anytime to have a conversation with her.
Yep.
You know, if they wanted her phone, they could take her phone.
I mean, that's the thing. This morning, I talked to law enforcement. I'm so terrified of it. You know?
Right.
So it's like, and I'm not talking like they knocked on me like girls, but it's like, and I didn't do anything wrong, so don't think that one like that. But yeah, I reach out or I call her or somebody contact where we need be. You know,
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's the type of relationship that a not guilty person has with law enforcement, where they can pick up the phone and call them.
I can't tell what counts or when awareness there. All I can do is, do what I can where I can.
Right.
And so it's like, or if I feel like I don't pick up the phone every 4 seconds, like this place wants us to. And oh God, this is happening. No, Marlene is mad. Oh my God, there's some guy squealing the tires. Because that makes us look certain ways. So I ain't gonna do it. And the more they've tried to make it into that or having us call, I'm not gonna do it. Because it's a way to make us look like certain ways law enforcement or them to eventually be like, right, I'm not gonna do that. And this place is not gonna have me doing it. So I only pick up phones or do whatever I need to do when I think it is.
So I guess I got a question. Marlena and Lips were talking behind the scenes. There were a few other people involved in that. So was PG involved with all of that stuff with Marlena and all of them? I don't know. It's just a question.
Is important or as Cosmo or Knox Shadow when they want something, unless I think it's extraordinary, I don't, I'm not, you know what I mean? But it's like, yeah, I'm so scared by Lee and feds or, I'm terrified.
Right.
Like, I'm so non-cooperating, if they want something to do. And I've never failed to cooperate. And I'm not. It's like, hell, man, I've been on lines. I'm like, I told you, the FBI just showed up. I'm like, I gotta go. Bye. Feds are here. And I talked to them, and I mean, if and when they ever need something, we're available.
There were many creators. A lot of them, were qualified individuals that came out and said over and over that they did not think that Dawn and Candace were necessarily guilty of Summer disappearing. I don't think I heard any of them say that they didn't believe that there was fuck shit going on there somehow, but they did come out and say that. People didn't want to hear that. That's not what people wanted to hear.
Always cooperated, still going to cooperate, So.
Well, and this is the thing. After I just said I'm still stuck on Marlena admitting to a lie detector test.
True though? Is it true?
Is it true? Is it true?
Where's the paper that you at least went? Do you have a text message to other people that isn't made up manufactured? You can show some scrolling way because we don't need stationary screenshots because that's easily manufactured in the year 2025. No, we're gonna need some. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people manufacture all these screenshots.
That even the biggest creators come in with, they're fake. Bro, I talk to real law enforcement understand they're fake. Real journalists here know they're fake. It's horseshit.
Yeah, that's sad. Because that's the thing, you just can't never get the truth. You just can't never get the truth. It's crazy.
And the thing is, if they only put out truth, it could actually help people around these cases.
Yeah.
And stuff. And people around the real lives of these things could have the ahas and maybe the keys dropping.
Exactly.
I guess my question is, they all did all of this fuck shit in Summer's name. Where has any of it got us? Where did stalking Jody and her kids and putting out that the kids were guilty of stuff and, doing all of this stuff Somebody tell me, where has it gotten us anywhere? What has any of this gotten us? It's got me nowhere.
But when you've got people around these cases believing in some bullshit like fake written this or type that or PG,
Right.
they're trying, even as people around, the neighborhood or community, they're thinking, "Ooh, these are Don's real words," and they're thinking, "Well, how do I interpret these from a Don level? And does this mean something?" You're doing no good for these people that could hold keys and have things if it was the
That's
real
what's
words.
sad, because I think that, from the beginning, it should have been, it just shouldn't have been what it's become today. And
Right. Like, what real people here were able to hear the real Jose without any bullshit added by Jenny.
that's right.
18.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
And what if Allie and him hadn't been contaminated and it hadn't been bullshit there too? What
Right.
if all the pieces that were here weren't hidden? What if Don was left to his own devices, got script writers, media managers,
That's
all
right. You're exactly right.
what if Prayer
What-
Garden?
This is the thing.
all the-
What would the conversation have been with Chris McDonough and Candace if he wouldn't have told her to watch the interview he did with Allie and Hunter? How would that have ended up? We will never know.
Anyway, and chances are she knew before it ever happened, and they were probably like, "Hey, we're going to do this, whatever."
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that group's just in, but think about it if all of us had just come out here and been able to speak. Me, I've stayed on my own. You don't see me being led and fed. Do you see me ever? Have you ever in all the years seen me up on a panel where those like PG or Daisy or any of the rest were leading and feeding the conversation or speaking for me? And now you see creators try it. When they do that, I push back. I'm like, no, you don't. We're not going to do that. Your narrative, you're not going to do this to me. You're not going to earn me. You're not going to scream it. I'm not going to play that. I can speak for myself.
You always have.
And if the others had been allowed that space, man, it could have really been helpful, I think, for law enforcement and people around the community who are most likely to hold keys and information that could help.
Right.
And then look at the rest of the community. It's like, I know there are other witnesses terrified to come forward who have been threatened, harassed. They're also afraid if they ever come forward, they're going to be done like we've been done. They'll be followed to courthouses. They'll be this. They'll be that. Their lives destroyed, targeted. I mean, man, what if the answer's out there? I mean, and people just don't want to be destroyed for doing the right thing.
Right.
And they can't make the weight pay. They're like, well, we might know this and that, but also our whole lives, our livelihoods, our jobs will be destroyed, and we'll go destitute. Bro, after so, I mean, we'll be done if these creators do us the same way.
Right.
To target us around Candace and Donna, so it's best just to shut up and never go forward. And then you have these fake tip boxes they had up, like pinning them, and fake Bobos taking in tips that were made. Pinning them had, you have fake feds like pinning them around, and you have bullshit flyers like who knows if there's not a tip that went to one of them that's just sitting there, they don't know what it is, but real feds would, but they can't turn it over because
AK-47. I did that for a reason. People playing games in Summer's case were not aiming to find her. They were looking for notoriety and money. YouTube famous seems to be desired from many. I agree, Cursed. I agree. Now, AK-47. I don't need to know what you've done to other people. Now, I told you, if you did something to Matthew, you need to go tell Matthew. Okay? Remain calm. I'm hanging up my YouTube psychology Google certificate for right now, okay? For real. Or when I'm done, you can come up and tell me what the fuck you lied on Matthew about. Because you know what? My friends are my friends. And I mean, you pretty much came to my channel, called yourself a liar. Then why did you come over here and tell me about it? If you already talked to Matthew, why did I need to know about it? For real. Why did you need to come over into my chat and basically say that you lied to somebody? That doesn't do anything to me and my channel. That just made you out to be a liar. So if you're good with Matthew, then why are you over here telling me about it? For real.
And their crimes will be known.
Right.
What if it's fair? I mean, do you know how tragic and sad that is? How much it breaks my soul.
Right.
But if the world wanted answers, I mean, it would have always been best. Never be a Cher, PG, a
Right.
Ryan, a Jenny, and Adrian, a Tiffany, a BK, any of these people is smiling, leading and feeding or cheesing or a Ziggy or no, we need you to say, oh, do you get the hint now? You need to go after this. You need to do this. And here's an error. Oh, Marlena, say this. And Jose, say that. And add 3 extra months in. If you want the truth, you listen.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%.
Yeah.
You don't
if
hide
you want
people
the
around it.
truth,
You don't
you'll
talk
listen.
for them. You don't, like, if you ever notice when people are on panels with them, they'll be like, no, what Don means. Or, no, what Candace meant. Like, no. Like, no, bro. Let them speak in full sentences. If you think what they mean is going to be misrepresented, then after these people, be like, how do you mean that? Make sure
Right.
you get explanation for fully so that it can't be misconstrued, clipped, twisted. You help break down the method other tragedy pimps have of attacking or twisting words for content.
Right.
You can help people speak so it's in an informed way and so things can't get out of hand. But don't speak for them. Don't excuse it. Don't hide and cover for. Don't narrate. Don't create a script. Don't wind them one way or the other.
I agree.
Do like real investigative journalists do. Ask a
Right.
question. Leave it open. Let them speak fully. Back away. Ask another question. That's how you
Well,
help it. So they can actually be used in court settings.
yes, exactly. I agree
Yeah.
on that. I agree on that.
And that is a sad thing too. So much of what's been said in Summer's case can never be used in court. Can never be used in court. I mean, it doesn't look good when you ask somebody a question and then you turn around, oh, you fucking whore, you're a fucking whore, when they don't answer the question that they want you to, right? Jody Sue's house we just put out again in a short last night. No way, cursed. Why? Why? I don't understand that. Why? 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 Why do people do that? A picture of my house is out there. What was the fucking purpose in it? What was the fucking purpose in it? For real? I don't know. I don't fucking know.
For real.
And
Well,
that's how you keep your victims and survivors and fighters. And
right.
Levy,
I
check
would
that
love to see
channel,
creators do
please.
that. Like, be a Barbara Walters, be a Cronkite, be something. Do what real journalists do, even if you are not a journalist and have
Well,
no background.
the thing about it is you can't, I just feel like you can't choose. You really shouldn't put yourself in a position where you have to choose what, I mean, you're always going to believe what you're made to believe. That's just human nature. But I've just always been the type, I want to hear what everybody's got to say. I don't
Yeah.
just want to go with one narrative. I would rather hear from everybody and be able to, make my assumption on that.
Right.
And there's so many people who don't do that. I mean, it's sad, but they don't.
Thank you, AK.
Well, it's like coming here, and I did for the longest time. It's why you see me surprised as hell. It's like, man, I really did separate from those. I didn't go to the channels Candace and Dom were at. I didn't go to the
Right.
channels Grace were at. I wanted to be not contaminated by whatever they're saying.
Right.
But obviously, I had to be somewhat aware of some things because it would fly around here,
Right, right.
But I did not go watch, listen, be like, whoa, what are they saying today? I still do not. I don't. It's like Marlena. I'm not listening to her.
I barely listened to it just to get kind of a couple
And-
things that she said, but I don't watch Prayer Garden. I don't watch Ziggy and
don't.
Fred. I don't watch any of those people. I just, not that I'm saying anything bad about them. I could give a fuck less, but they're not saying anything that's that I'm finding to be relevant in Summer Missing.
I've noticed most of what Marlena's putting out, she's pulling this whole like Christopher Columbus on. It's regurgitated, mishmashed, even worse than anybody, even Fred I've seen.
Yep, I
And
agree.
she's new to the scene with new info, and it's like, man, this place is known that even before any of us public.
Right,
You think
I totally agree on that.
he's like, oh,
Okay, so let's just stop there for a minute. Take a woosah moment. So yes, in Summer's case, you got a bunch of people. I always said it. I'll keep on saying it. Little freaking fires everywhere, right? And so you got to distinguish. Well, that's a word, isn't it? Distinguish. You have to separate so much of this. It has nothing to do with Summer. It has nothing to do with Summer. I knew of the reward fund stuff. I knew of so many different things. And, people may think it's nonsense when I say they're in my notes. I just don't have anything to say about them. That is the absolute truth. I don't need to talk about the reward funds and who's guilty of it. And basically, what Jody is telling us, because she was around, the clique of people that were doing that to other individuals. So, she can easily name drop the people. I have always been in it for summer. Whether people believe that or not, that's totally up to you guys. I don't care if you believe it or not. But there's a little girl missing. She's going to be missing 4 years with nothing. No one knows nothing. After all of this shit and what everybody's doing and what everybody has done, you know, we've all flip flop on different things. So that's just human nature, I think. Um, but as far as some of those people who even thought that speaking a child's name, not only Summers, other fucking children, other children's name. I shouldn't have said effing children. I apologize. Even speaking other children's names. What is the purpose? What is the purpose? 4 years is too long. 4 years is too long.
Oh, Marlena is saying this, and it's like, bro, that's been out for years. And
Right.
what? But Marlena thinks she's the first one to give it or say, I don't know. People are like, hey, first time out, really? Really, you know? Okay, lady.
Well,
But
I
it's
mean,
a
at first she tried to say she didn't talk to flies and or lips, and she actually did talk to lips.
yes, she
You
did.
know, she was like, "No, I've never done an interview or whatever," and she did talk to lips. We showed it. We
Yeah.
absolutely showed it. So, I mean,
And it wasn't the only one that she spoke to. And I forget, there was a couple others she did speak to. There were things she was putting out on Facebook everywhere. But then when people would pick them up, like I remember that was part of the thing when she came along threatening Nana. Nana had screenshot stuff on Facebook, but Marlena's name out for privacy reasons. And then Marlena's like, "You're going to pay me for that." And then that when she found out and threatening
Right.
her.
Yeah, I
And
did
it
hear
was
about the money part.
you know, and then she's like, "Take it down." And the cop I'm related to is like, "Whoa," you know.
Well, and you know what? I wouldn't have cared if she would have stayed up here. She's the one who dropped herself down. I think she just wanted to prove who she was or whatever. But you know, I'm not going to let her
Really
sit up here and argue with you when I had questions for her that obviously she wasn't coming up here to have a conversation. She was coming up here to attack you. So
Yeah,
you know,
that running mouth and like that female typical cliche behavior. They'll scream at each other and they'll overtalk and who
yes,
wins the screaming match. And look, Marlena, if she knew me at all, she knew in real life I ain't like that.
right,
Look, you do that shit with me in real life, especially younger me. I've never been one to stand there and do it girly bullshit. I'm not gonna
right,
stand there and do it. If you're mad and you
right,
want to swing, we'll swing. But I ain't got time for your 30-minute build up and get yourself
right.
ready. My hair.
I get
You're
what you're
ready
saying.
to punch me in the face and we're ready to go, or you're gonna shut up because I ain't gonna stand there and listen for 30 minutes. You wanna go, we'll
Right,
go. Otherwise,
right.
shut up. I ain't like a screaming match and some
I'm
like some
like that too. If people, I'm really bad. If people come on my channel and they start, you know, start screaming and shit, I am really bad. I tune them the fuck out. It's like you know, go ahead and spend your time screaming, but that doesn't mean I've got, you know, time to pay attention to it. So I
like
just,
panels like that, and I'll generally drop off them, and then they're like, "Yeah, we won. Look, we got her to go away. We beat Jody." So I'm like, "No, you are a bunch of middle-aged adult women who even children and teenagers act like this, screaming at
that is
people,
so
going,
funny.
grab the link or you're a pussy, grab it,
Yeah,
y'all too, get
yeah,
bent." But
that was
I've
so
spent
weird.
life facing the monster screaming, and look, I'm telling you, in real life, and squabbling right, I'm not one to fucking trifle with,
Right,
and I
right.
don't do that.
Well, why would you have to be? It's
Is
your
the only
fucking
one.
life. Why the
You
fuck would you need to fuck with
that,
people like that?
and people can't make that make sense. They're like, "Why is it that Jody
Right.
Sue told my monster to go beat some 7 foot tall dude's ass because he's a punk bitch?" But yeah, and he did. It's like that one punch in the mouth, and he slammed the door to keep dude from beating his ass. And he's like, "Jody Sue, go get," and that's the one did. But
That is so
it's
funny.
the thing is, like, I can buy, so I take care of myself and those I love, and this the other, and to do it for the right reasons. I don't go around scrapping. I mean, I'm too old. I don't want to look like trash. I don't want my daughter to
Right.
think I'm trash. My family are embarrassing.
No, I get it.
If you have something, we'll go. I'm old. I'm half dead. It doesn't mean I'm fully dead.
Right.
And I'm sorry. I ain't like, oh God, I'm such a badass that we're gonna fight and I'm gonna win. Man, my pap taught me that eventually you're gonna lose.
Right.
That's okay. Get up, dust it off, shake hands, walk the fuck another way. You know,
Right.
and so it's cool. But it's like, I wasn't built that way. And only Monster. I know people can't confuse like, why couldn't you beat the shit out of somebody? But then Monsters yelling at her, screaming at her, beating her. It's just the way it was. I mean, he's the only.
Right. Yeah,
But
that's messed up.
and that's terrible. How many times I wanted to fight back like that, but I didn't because of the risk and danger to my children, especially being sick.
Yeah, completely. I mean, and you know, that's the thing. People were, oh, you know, Jody's backing down, she's scared or whatever. And it's like, no, she has kids she has to protect. And
Well,
it
not just
doesn't matter how anybody fucking feels about it.
but on panels and things, it's like, man, hearing a bunch of people scream is triggering for me. I've heard enough people scream, Andy
Yeah,
screaming.
right.
I don't. It's just like, no, this is nonsensical. I didn't even want to scream, yell with him. Like, I mean, and for the most part, I couldn't say much of anything in person. He'd be screaming and yelling at us, and I knew better to speak back, do whatever.
Right.
And most of what I said was in a normal tone, trying to keep him calm at a level that
Right.
didn't rise to physical. And so, for me, it's like I've always been like, look, We'll talk, we'll have conversations. As a couple, you should be able to work things out. You should be able to
Right.
talk. You should never reach it, but that's what he wanted. He couldn't, you know. And
Right.
and so I wouldn't even participate in scream matches. You just have to listen, scream at you for hours in your damn face, and then beat you if you want to participate in that, and beat you for this, beat you for that. But otherwise, I'm not one to be trifled with, right?
Right.
And I don't, and have never been raised to sit there and run my mouth 30 minutes to get all wired up and then go. I'm like, no,
Right.
we're not. And I'm more
Mhm.
masculine, you know. But I'm not gonna stand there and argue some crazy stuff, act like a picking hen in the
That's the
yard.
way I am too. I ain't gonna fucking sit and argue with people. It ain't worth it. Not
Right.
worth it.
If you
Just
wanna
not
go,
worth it.
we'll go, but I ain't gonna have no 30-minute scream match. And those like Molly and they gotta do the screaming match.
AK-47, I do not care. Do not mention any creators in my chat. I do not care what you talk to her about.
Match with in person online makes good content day, but they do that shit in real life. They want to scream, holler, squall at one another, other women.
Yep.
It's too much feminine energy for me. I'm like, whatever, bro.
Definitely is.
And I don't mean that in a derogatory way towards other females. I understand that that's
No, I get what you're saying completely.
and I don't
Completely.
operate that way. I'm not gonna stand it. Like, what's the point in screaming and yelling?
For
Yeah,
real.
and be screaming. I'm like, it's so girly and stupid.
Well, that's why I just, not that I wasn't going to let Marlena talk. I was, but I mean, she came up hot and immediately started yelling, and it's like,
I'm not into people hollering and screaming on my channel. Anybody wants to come up and have a conversation, I'm always available, but I don't need to hear people screaming and hollering at each other because the question never gets answered. The questions never get answered. All it turns into is a screaming match. And I'm not here for screaming matches. You're not stupid, AK-47, okay? Ugh. You're not starting a war with anybody. Lord have mercy.
let's have
when the world sees things like that, they don't think, oh, well, this is a liar just screaming on. They take it as passion and real rage or whatever it means because what Marlene is saying is true. When I'm saying it's fake, a lot.
right.
It's but it's actually what you're saying is just an asshole being,
Right.
It's not to be screaming and yelling. It don't make them going, you're a liar, la, 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 and talking over it. Same shit. You see like lips and Lumber only doing panels. That's not conducive to conversations. Figuring that
It's not.
what is that?
That
And most people, mamas, grandmamas, great grandmamas, is that how you behave? Is that what you teach your children?
That is what a lot of them are behaving like, for real.
Like, can we all quit acting like this is antebellum times? We all got a hand fan, mint julep, and we should all be like spreading the gossip and figuring out where the French lace is coming from on what boat that week. Can we stop that? We don't have to
I
behave.
mean, the thing about it is what some people need to be careful about is being in that area, being in that environment, and things possibly not going too good for the situation. And then all of a sudden you're coming on social media because you need some help. And in the process of coming on to get that help, you're being scrutinized. And if law enforcement is wanting you, you better believe they're going to know exactly where your ass is at to come and get you. And why the fuck, why would they need Marlena to take a lie detector test? If that's true, that says a lot to me. Why the fuck would they need her to take a lie detector test?
That did say a lot.
I mean, for
to
real.
Me.
Who would even say that they took one? I don't know. I don't even know if I would want to come out and say I freaking took a lie detector test.
I mean, honestly, and people may not believe me, but I've always said it. I wish, what I know now, I wish they'd locked the entire community down.
Right.
Especially being here, I wish they'd taken everybody's devices, all of our items, not allowed communication in or out. I wish everybody been polygraphed. I wish everybody had wire strips for asses. I wish for a lot of things, you know. And I still do. I wish they could put everybody from there on polygraphs, but they are a tool and they can be incorrect and all these other things. They're just a tool. But when you combine those with other things, maybe they help. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
But I've always been truthful. I've always offered one. I've always been told I didn't need one. Tried to take my own by the best experts in the world. Those who have worked with and trained FBI, they're the best you can seek. I've shown the receipts of that. They wanted Fed approval and Fed's wing it. So, and that was not for the world to be like, look what I didn't hear all these. Right. I heard a clean self. It was so that the truth will be held by feds and Ellie in any way needed, especially if my health's gone, wasn't able to, or.
Well, also, Jody, you got to understand, I don't think that they would really want you to take a lie detector test because I just know that there was things that you haven't even came out and talked about. And what a lot of that would show, I remember when you went fucking hard on Don Wells about going to Knoxville, which I'm glad that you mentioned that sometimes when you guys are talking about Knoxville, you're not really talking about Knoxville.
And I don't think people get that. Dawn and all this, when we talk about Knoxville, we know what I mean.
Right.
Knoxville is not necessarily Knoxville, like
Right.
downtown or Knoxville.
Right.
You're going to get places like my side, Morristown. Now,
AK-47. There's the link. Is that what you want? You want to take that link? You want to take the link? Is that what you want? You want to come up and tell us your deepest, darkest secrets? There it is. It's about you, right? It's about you. Come on up here. I want to talk about you. Come on up here, AK-47. Take that link. Take that link. Let's talk about you. For sure. I mean, if that's what you want to do, I'll drop that link.
towards Greenville, you're going to look at I mean, and there are other places people travel, but in that, we're not meaning downtown cities in Knoxville either.
Right.
And it's going to be places like, I don't know, where certain folks are in the mountains right now, others lived, as a whole abundance of areas
Right.
close to Knoxville, like Dudley said.
Right.
And it's going to be out that way.
She just told us a lot. Now, I keep telling you guys, take this and use it for educational purposes. Jody has told us a lot, whether you think she has or not. But like I said, you have to separate. You have to separate where the reward fund and all of that stuff, and that all has to be separated. But it's kind of interesting that when they talk about Knoxville, they're really not talking about Knoxville. They're talking about areas between Beach Creek and Knoxville. One of them, I think, what's it called? Morristown or something like that. I could be getting that wrong. Yeah, I've heard things about you too, Matthew. There's the link. Why don't you take that link, Matthew? There you go. There's the link, Matthew. You can take it if you want.
And I know Ellie, but I mean, hell, I know that at times Candace did say he'd go fully in Knoxville. I know Dom would say it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what I mean.
Right. Right.
But us locally, we're like, Knoxville, I mean, on that path.
Right.
On that path.
Right.
But there are many areas in between.
Well, girl, I hate to get off here because I really enjoy having a conversation with you for real. But I've
Well,
been here over 7
right.
hours. I gotta get up
We're
and
about
get
done.
some dinner and
oh my God, no! It'll be so long I can't listen. Wait for it. Narrative by not be good to see whenever it took remains.
Yeah, me
Channel
too.
hostage wouldn't let her talk.
oh my God. Y'all can shut up, okay? I enjoy talking to Jody. I'm glad she came over.
And if ever you want to speak again, we'll speak.
Well, and I'm glad you did come over because I wanted to give you a chance to
Wait a minute.
say
AK-47.
things that I've been saying the whole time because I continuously keep saying, if you really listen to what Jody's saying, there's a lot of common sense there in what she's putting out. I've said that so many freaking times, and people just don't listen. They don't listen to me, Jody. So I'm glad you came over. Maybe they'll listen to you.
Nobody listens to me. AK-47, what do you want to say?
I did talk to Matthew on his channel. I apologize.
Okay, but I don't even know what you and Matthew were fighting about.
No, I lied.
What the fuck do you lie about?
Well, I lied about. Well, I went to the army and I have dyslexia and it didn't work out and
Oh, okay.
I said something once, maybe twice, but I didn't serve. So he knows that, and I apologize many times.
Okay, well, you apologize. Matthew forgives you.
I know he does.
Right, Matthew?
But
well, you need to let it go, because let me tell you what happened. Now listen to what I'm saying.
I'm listening to you.
I didn't know any of this. So what you did was you came in my chat and started telling people that you're a liar. That's what you were telling people, that you were a liar.
Yeah,
Now,
because I recognize people in chat because they've seen I've been in other people's channels,
but they never,
YouTube.
my people aren't gonna say anything to you like that over here. Okay.
Well, I just had to apologize. Like, I don't know.
Oh,
I
okay.
just
So
felt sorry. I'm
you're
sorry.
basically you're going around doing an apology tour.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. I get it. I get
I
it.
mean, it's like it. I mean, and I
Okay, but listen. Okay. Now, I know over here on my channel, we don't ever have to talk about it again. Okay.
word to the mother.
Okay. And I'm sure other channels are probably like, they understand. Okay. But don't ever come up on my channel and lie. You understand me?
Absolutely.
All right.
That's my dog with the squeaky toy. She's jealous, but thank you. No, I'll go out,
Yes.
but I like
And
your channel.
Like Maymay says, stop telling lies. You don't have to lie about yourself, okay?
Oh. Hey,
You
by
don't
the way,
have to do
I
that.
can I say something? I love your avatar.
Oh, thank you. That's when I was 21. Ask Matthew, he knows.
I look at your avatar. I see all the signs and stuff. That is so beautiful.
Oh, thank you very much.
Well, peace and love, and I love all y'all, and
All right. Well,
I'm gonna stop
I know all
apologizing.
them all probably love you too. Yes,
I'm
stop
gonna.
apologizing.
All right, peace.
Peace. All right. All right. We got that out of the way. Oh, wait, here comes Matthew. Did you want to talk to him, Matthew?
No.
Well,
Oh my
he's
god.
gone. I had
It's fine.
to
It's
tell him
okay. It's okay.
goodbye.
Yeah, we don't like liars. So
Goodbye.
anyway, so I was counting my Fabergé eggs while I was walking in my
Oh, you
mansion
were.
today.
That's really cool.
And
That's really cool.
just thinking about how much I hate liars.
I
It's,
hate liars too. I
counting
really don't like liars.
I was counting my collection of Ferraris, thinking to
But
myself,
the thing about it is, I mean, he came over and was apologizing for something I didn't even know what the fuck he was talking about.
yeah, he does
But
that.
he needed that. He needed to come up and he needed to
Yes, he did.
cleanse his soul, I guess.
Yep,
So
yep. Once a week on
know,
everyone's page. Yes,
do
he
not
definitely needs to do that.
quit telling lies. But there's a lot of fucking liars.
Hold on a second. So, okay, explain this to me. Good for him for coming clean, right?
Right.
Right. Now, is there a difference if you come clean because you got busted out, or you just coming clean to come clean? Which way is it? Is it just, hey, came clean no matter how, doesn't matter, or it's like, wait, you only did this because?
No, I don't think there's a difference, really.
No, okay.
I
so
mean,
coming clean is just coming clean. All right.
I mean, the thing about it is, we've got so many fucking people lying about being in the military, and most of them ain't never been in the military.
Yeah.
But this is the way I feel about it. If that's their niche, that they go around talking about being in the military when they're not really in the military, I mean, what the fuck am I supposed to say about
I've
it?
never lied about nothing like that. Instead, I was a doctor, though. Yeah, I did go to.
Oh, that's
Yes.
cool.
Yep,
That
doctorate
is
school
fucking cool.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yep, there's many degrees and
Not
doctorates.
not in the military, but definitely a doctor. What's that? Yeah, I had all of them. Which one? That one. All of
No,
them.
I mean, I don't really give a shit about people lying being in the military. I think it's wrong to do it because
Yeah.
if you were really in the military, it's kind of disrespectful to people in the military. But I guess it kind of depends. I mean, Like one person called that's something. I can't remember what they called them, and it's like, dude, you lie about being in the military, then when your ass is called out, you know, you want to degrade everybody and demean everybody's character that was in the military. I mean, that's kind of fucked up if you ask me, but you're not going to see me running around. I mean, there's channels you can go to for that, you know, actually call out people who lie about being in the military. So to each their own, you know, they can go over there. Stone Bet's one of them.
Yeah.
I think he calls out people that lie about being in the military. I don't know. I showed my DD 214. I'm not showing it again. I don't fucking have to. I know my ass did basic training and AIT and went to a duty station. I know it. I will never forget it. For real. Okay.
All right.
AK-47 said, I tried. I have dyslexia.
What did that even have to do with?
I don't know. May says you're lying about being a doctor.
What? Wow.
Get him, May.
Is that how they do things around here? Jeez.
Yeah, I guess you got called out. May called you out.
Oh, I can
funny.
I can prove it. So.
Oh, I can prove it. I can prove I have a Google certificate in psychology and yeah. Let me tell you, when you're a freaking creator on YouTube, you can definitely get Google certified in bullshit.
Hold on there, May.
Okay, wait.
No, I'm not just the host. I'm the player president as well. So.
Oh my God, AK-47, leave it alone. Leave it be, okay? Lord have mercy. I don't need to see your receipts. You lied to Matthew, not me. So
I know. What are you doing over here?
I felt bad because when I think I was live day before yesterday or something, and man, they kept on, and I finally had to give them a big timeout because I'm like, damn,
who?
You know, come on, I can't do it.
Who are you talking about?
Especially if I'm trying to talk about somebody, it's like.
Wait, who are you talking about?
AK-47.
Oh, the other day he was here. AK, damn it, AK. No, not the love you part. Just.
Well, Matthew said when he goes live later, make sure you come over there.
No, I didn't say it. No, we're good, AK. You can be in the chat all you want. You don't have to. You can hit the panel too, but do not apologize. As a matter of fact, I forgot about this, but I told him if he comes over and apologizes one more time, all of us are roasting the fuck out of him. So
that is so
don't do it.
That is funny.
I forgot I said that.
That is so funny. Gosh, I don't think May likes you very much.
Who's May?
Matthew?
So you agree with the head up your mom's. Oh,
May's.
Oh, he's talking to AK, not me.
Oh, okay.
Why are you starting stuff?
I wasn't sure. I wasn't
sure. Look, how we responded. AK. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Jeepers.
Lord help me, Jesus. For real.
When I first met AK, he's like, yeah, man, I'm going to be making all these cool Legos. And he showed me all the Legos.
The Legos.
I have never seen him.
Legos.
I have never seen him attach just one Lego to another one. Not one. He'll have them put together over here or in a box over there. But I have never even seen him not even hold a Lego.
Yes, he has been very supportive of the channel.
Hey, if he tries to come up and hit the panel holding Legos, I'm dropping.
Nope. No. I've been on here for 2 hours. I cannot do the Legos with AK-47 right now.
He doesn't even.
No, thank you.
He doesn't even play with Legos. I was
Legos.
never.
Legos are fucking expensive now. I know.
Yeah, they hurt too when you step on them.
I mean, yeah, they definitely hurt when you step on them. My granddaughter, she can put together some really hard Legos. I'm like, okay. But I got kind of creeped out because we were all at Walmart and we were looking at Legos one time, and there was this kid standing there, and he starts talking to my granddaughter about, when you put Legos together, make sure that you do it by each individual bag and stuff. And it was very nice of him to explain that
Yeah,
stuff to her,
yeah.
but I was like kind of creeped out. I was
Tell
like,
Marley that. Yeah, good luck with that. No, he starts with all 20,000 on the floor.
Yeah. Well,
And he
no,
stares at him.
yeah,
for a
my
good
granddaughter
20.
does it like package by package. So
Yeah. Oh man.
I know whoever made Legos, they're living on a great big island somewhere that they own.
Oh, come on. They've been killed off and the major corporations have taken them over long time ago. Cut it out.
So
Don't make me go and change this live into a conspiracy live. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it.
Oh man, I seen where Matt Sales was talking about this Mahendra Patel. The dude, he just got caught trying to nab a 2-year-old at Walmart. So I'm going to go down that rabbit hole because I don't know how he fucking got out of jail, but he bonded out, I believe.
Crazy.
And I'm like, how in the hell is he bonding out?
But then, like,
So
people
now I got to
don't
go down
believe.
that rabbit hole because I have OCD, and because it came to my attention, if I don't, then I will go fucking crazy. So now I'll be talking about that. I am done with the Jody Sue interview.
Who?
Okay.
I've never heard of her
So
before.
you don't need to come into chat and tell me how much you don't like her.
Hey,
all right.
I hold on. Are you talking to me right now?
Yeah.
No, you are not.
Who the fuck do you think
no,
I'm talking to?
No. Who the fuck are you? No, I have never come in your chat and said I didn't like her.
Oh no, you haven't. You're right. You haven't.
Now
you haven't.
I may come in and roast the fuck out of her for like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
that's
you do.
not saying I don't like her.
Okay.
Now she has literally said I don't like him.
Well, I wonder why.
I don't know. I gave her a compliment like when she back in the day when she was dancing. Ooh wee.
Yeah, but when was she dancing?
She used to dance. You see that picture? Ooh.
Oh, dance.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What should I call it? Something different?
What's wrong with that? She was supporting the damn family.
I didn't say nothing about the dancing. I was talking about how she looked in that picture.
She was supporting the family. Was your boy Andy working at that time?
Hey,
why don't you find that out?
Watch it. Watch your mouth. Hey. Watch it.
No doubt.
You watch it. You watch that mouth of yours. Don't be talking. That's my homeboy right there. Shout out to Andy B. I see you, big dog.
For real. For real. Hey, all girls got to work for a living, you know.
Why do you keep? Nobody's saying nothing. Never mind. Let me just.
Yeah, let's not get into that topic. Hey, I knew a lot of women.
I would have paid back in the day for that.
Were dancers, and some of them were single moms. Some of them were going to college. You know.
Oh my God! Somebody time out, May.
Paying their way, you know,
what?
through life.
Who is she talking to? I don't know who
your
May
homeboy is a girl.
Who? I don't know who. That name.
Oh no, she's calling Andy a girl.
Yeah. No. That's what I thought.
May.
Yeah. Watch it.
Yes, dancers can make good money. You better believe it.
Meerkat seems familiar though. Like I feel like I've seen that name.
You probably have. May's been around Summer's case since
like a year or two ago.
Long ago. May's been around. She's not a hoe. She's a lady, she said.
Of the Nights?
She's a lady hoe.
Oh, well. I mean,
no, Debbie's the hoe of the night.
Debbie? Whoa.
Yeah. Debbie's the hoe that she's out all night long.
Jeez.
You know,
Go to bed.
go to bed, Debbie. She
Take a night off.
does. She usually sleeps during the day when I'm live.
Just take a night off.
Take a night off.
Wait, did you just say she purposely sleeps through your lives? Wow.
No, I'm just fucking with her.
Wow.
I'm just messing, Debbie. No, she is. She's out and about all night long, and then she got to sleep during the day.
For a hot second, I thought you
Hey,
said
the
daddy.
mouse.
You said Debbie. I thought you said daddy.
Oh, no, Debbie.
I was like, oh my.
Depend who's in the said bed. May said it depends on who's in the said bed.
What happened? What?
I don't know, May. I'm
Go
not
bed.
saying. Debbie said I'd pimp her out. Cindy Sue.
Is that a cup of ice water?
No, that's my ginger ale.
It's wink wink ginger
Hold
ale.
on. Hold on, I will show you in my
Nope,
mason
don't
jar.
even do it. Don't. Nope. Yeah. Oh, that's moonshine.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's my moon ale.
That is
That's right.
Did you I don't hold on. I'm gonna put this in the back chat because I do not like doing this on somebody's live.
All right. Put it in the back chat. I'll be watching for it. Cindy Sue. I don't know where Cindy Sue came from, but thanks for popping in, Cindy Sue. I've seen you around. I've seen you around.
Cindy Sue. Wait, that's Cindy Q.
Well, I say Cindy Sue. But it is spelled
Technically,
Cindy Q.
you could go any way you want if you want to be technical.
Cindy Sue, Cindy Q comes in and gives us the Google eyes. I've seen her. I'm assuming it's a girl. I've seen her around, but I don't really know who she is.
Did you just assume someone's gender?
Yes, I did.
My God.
Well, I don't know a lot of,
How dare you?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh no. Now you don't know.
12:50 a.m. there, May. You better go to bed.
We might cancel you now.
Good night, May. Oh, let me tell you, if they're going to cancel me, it's going to be something worse than that.
Yeah, May, take your ass to bed. Grumpy motherfucker, get your ass to bed, May.
My pronoun is what? We don't know. Cindy
No,
Sue?
yours. What are yours?
What is my
Yeah,
pronouns?
what are yours?
I'm all fucking woman. Bottom line.
That's fact and shout
Yeah,
Wait, what did I say?
well,
What did I say about? Don't say that about. Right, so
what
did I
he
say
said,
about you?
I didn't hear him say.
Is she behind? Because I said a lot of stupid shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Matthew always says a lot.
And whatever I says, it's fact.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever lied on YouTube. Ever.
I ain't never lied. I ain't got nothing to lie about. Shit.
Ooh. Did you see that clip I played that the I for Investigates played where PG cusses out looking white boy?
No, did she cuss him out?
Oh my
Who did it?
Prayer
Who
Garden.
did the clip?
I for Investigates.
I don't
Very
know.
fun.
If
I showed it on
them.
I showed it on my live yesterday. It was funny.
Yeah, she cusses everybody out.
Oh man.
Did you hear her cussing Jody out?
I have recently because I've heard her do it before.
I don't know. I don't know if it was recent or not because I don't pay attention to them people. I really don't.
Whoa, those people, that was racist.
No, that wasn't racist. Well, I don't know. Would you consider basically calling somebody a
Yes.
Stupid fucking idiot liar. Would you
Yes.
consider that racist?
Wow, that was the most racist thing I've heard this year. I can't believe you
Yep.
just said that. You might get canceled. Don't say that again.
Stupid idiot
Oh,
lying
YouTube.
fucking weirdo bitch.
She's
How
kidding
about
YouTube.
that?
She's kidding
you
YouTube.
Do you consider that racist?
Oh my god. Well, this is the last this is the last episode of Snookums.
Oh my God, Cindy. That's horrible.
Damn.
That's rough.
What am I?
I seriously don't know who that is, Matthew.
What
Have
am
you
I
seen her?
holding? No.
Or him? Or they? Or them?
Just another person on my dick.
Uh-oh.
Ugh, I shouldn't have said that. What's a dude? Clearly.
I'm
Oh my god.
AK-47 said I'm a lesbian trapped in a male's body.
Oh
TMI.
man.
TMI.
Man,
TMI.
never heard people say
AK-47.
that. That's so brand new, AK. Wow. That is some brand new off the dome shit right there. That
Heck
is, wow, that's
yeah.
talent.
You need to make a video about that.
Yeah, man. Like,
For
you guys,
real.
I got a good joke for you guys.
That's something new.
You should start it with that. I got a brand new joke, you guys.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh, did you see my
Wasn't he drinking water and got choked? Were you drinking water and got choked?
Oh, no, I was lighting incense and I coughed. Wink, wink.
Oh, okay.
Wink, wink.
Hey, that's better than drinking water. I'm just saying.
I should have probably drank some water instead of.
It's going to make you want some water, though.
I was smoking some of that. Ooh.
Yeah. You better watch out. There's snitches amongst us over that stuff now.
We're talking about the good CBD. What do you mean?
So.
I mean, incense. I was just lighting incense and coughed.
Oh, my God. AK-47. AK-47.
There's this one time I rolled a joint and shut up. I'm sorry, man. I'm not trying to be mean to you. I just like having fun with you, bro. You know that.
You are just not very nice to AK-47.
I don't want to.
You said you forgave him, so you got to be nice now, Matthew. You forgave him.
Technically, I had never had a problem with him. So my chat forgave him. Yeah, my chat forgave him because he.
Oh.
He used to.
Well, that's even worse when a creator's chat's pissed off at you.
Oh man, he can't even hit the panel without getting juiced.
That
sounded bad. That sounded bad.
That is, yeah. The chat will get you every time. It doesn't matter. It's up to them to forgive you.
Maybe. Maybe.
Oh my God. Don't make me block you again today, AK-47.
All right, I gotta do some grocery shopping.
I've got to get my ass off here. I got things to do.
Did you see what's in the back chat? You saw that?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Well, it's gonna be some trouble.
So I will announce that here very shortly.
Man. Okay. Yeah, I didn't want to disrespect you like that.
No, that's cool. That is cool, man.
Well, Snookums, I will look forward to FaceTiming you at 2 a.m. if I don't talk to you.
Yeah, you do that.
Oh, and you guys, I'm not
You
lying.
do that, and I'll hold my phone out because I'm sure at 2 o'clock I'll be hearing whore being screamed across the street. So
that is insane. That
is
right there,
ridiculous.
What the?
That's not even all of it, Matthew. I don't want to get into it today. I really don't.
We don't have to. Okay, one last thing. Cindy Q. No, that is not my favorite song. That becomes everyone else's favorite song when they hear my voice. Anyway, catch you later.
Later. Yeah, we believe that, Matthew. All right, you guys, give me 1 second here. I'm going to make me a cup of coffee real quick, and then we're going to finish out the conversation. All righty, mighties. Thank you, Poppy. I've been on here 2.5 hours. I'm getting ready to get off of here. I really want you guys to take into consideration what Jody has told us. She has said a lot. Now, like I said, and I'm not going to keep saying it, it's not up to me to make you guys believe Jody or not believe Jody. That's not what this was all about. So nobody needs to say anything about that. If you have heard contradictions, it's up to you. I'm not going to run out here and find contradictions in everything that Jody has said. I know that some people are like, we didn't need to hear that conversation. And I kind of questioned even playing it. But I'm glad I did, because listening to it, I did pick up quite a bit of things. Now, like I said, little fires everywhere, little freaking fires everywhere. A lot of what she said may have not have made sense to some of you guys, but it made sense to me. So I guess that's what matters, right? That it made sense to me. So I don't know. Haven't seen you around. Nice to meet you. Tell us about yourself. Cindy Sue said, Debbie, I'm the bish that sees and hears a lot. Damn, girl. Well, it's nice to meet you, because I don't have a freaking clue who you could be. That is the truth. I do not know. But I have seen you around a couple places, but I mean, that scares me even. Are you Queen Bigums? Anus wants to know if you're Queen Bigums. I think there's only a handful of us that has not fallen for that voice like some others. Well, look, I cannot sit here and tell you guys I know exactly how Jody feels, or I don't know how exactly Jody feels. I know of my own experiences with somebody watching your every move, fucking calling people on the phone, to tell them what kind of underwear you're wearing that day, shit like that. It takes a toll on a person. It really does. Bubbles. Whatever. Thank you. Just get rid of them. Just block them. Is that the bubbles that with jinkies in them? Is that who that bubbles is? Is that the one that wanted to find out? Oh, I'm not going to say what they wanted to find out. I don't think you should come over here in my chat and say anything. Maybe you should go back over with Jinkies and them, right? Oh, by the way, since you decided to make your presence known here, Diamonds is going live tonight. Diamonds is going live tonight, Bubbles. I'm interested to see what Diamond says. Wow. Thanks for reminding me that Diamonds is going live. Debbie, drop Diamonds live in chat, please. Oh, it was Rapper? Rapper, why you coming over here saying things like that? I mean, for real. She has an emergent. Oh, okay, never mind. Diamonds isn't going live tonight. Well, I hope everything's okay. Hey, cutie pie, love you too. She gonna spill the tea? Well, she's not going to spill it tonight. So I hope everything's good with her. Well, Rapper needs to not come over here talking that shit. Don't fucking bring up no weird ass bitch in my fucking chat. For real. Ain't gonna work out for you or her, either one. But that's what friends are for, right? That's what friends are for. For real, for real. All right. So, everybody understand what I said. It's not up to me to run around and prove Jody Sue Brown wrong. I'm not going to do that. That's not what I do over here. It was a really good conversation. I really appreciate Jody coming over and hanging out and, you know, talking like she did. It was, whether you guys think so or not, it was a really good interview. It was a long interview, but it was a really good interview. I'm gonna put it out in full form, and I don't know quite what I'll do with it, but I am gonna run it full form and not cut it into sections, because I think that a lot of times too, like me commenting on it and commentating on it and things like that, I think that it did take away from Jody's words. So if I put it back out in the full form, then you know, you have to listen to the whole conversation. You can't just take bits and pieces and, you know, run your own narrative on it. You have to know the whole context of the conversation, for sure. She does tell a lot. She does tell a lot. All right. AK-47, you just wanted me to do this tonight, right? Let's say we're just going to send you for a nap. You go take your nap. You hear me? Go take your nap. Go take your nap, because you got to get ready for Matthew's live tonight. Oh, you got to get ready for Matthew's live, AK-47. Go take your nap so that way you can, you know, he doesn't care, Cindy Sue, whether it hurts the channel or not. That's why he's taking a nap. I'm sure that you'll be awake next time I go live. Okay? So, for real. But she did, I mean, it's freaking very interesting. Very interesting. Now, I know Monday, I definitely can't go live Monday. I've got some appointments I need to keep. I'll just say that. But we are going to talk about this, you guys. This is freaking wild. Matt sent me down this rabbit hole. I had heard about this case, but I didn't really, I mean, I kind of been following it, but not to a big extent. So a man spent 45 days in jail accused of trying to abduct a child at Walmart. A judge granted him bond after the lawyer showed a video. Now, this is Mahendra Patel. He's facing attempted kidnapping and other charges after a mother accused him of trying to grab her 2-year-old son from her at a Georgia Walmart. The judge granted him a $10,000 bond. He said, the judge, I'm going to grant this man a bond. He's entitled to a bond. At that time, he was released from jail. His lawyer showed a compilation of security footage that she subpoenaed from Walmart. They said that this man was just trying to make sure that the boy didn't fall from a scooter his mother was riding on with him in her lap. I mean, There were friends, relatives, and neighbors who were in the courtroom with this man. This is a picture of it. I mean, wow, this is a whole nother live. The video shows him, he grabbed at the child. He grabbed the child. He shouldn't have, and he fled after the incident. But they say he didn't flee the scene. He has strong ties in the community. He's a property owner. He has a wife and daughters. He volunteers at a local nonprofit and is a member of organizations such as the Kiwanis Club. He was previously convicted of a felony for a financial scheme and was arrested on suspicion of DUI. Well, he made bail. The mother, Caroline Miller, 26, said that he asked her for help in finding the Tylenol. At that time, she said he tried to grab her 2-year-old son from her, but she pulled the child back.
All right, I'll be back.
All right, be careful. Mama's not talking to anybody now. Grand jury indicted Patel on April 3rd on charges of criminal attempt to commit kidnapping, simple assault, and simple battery. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wowsy, wowsy. Okay. Well, that's kind of weird, but all right. Thank you, Matt Sell, for bringing that to my attention. I mean, it was to my attention, but you brought a little bit more into my attention. I appreciate that. No, the child wasn't with him. The mom said she pulled him back. The mom said that she pulled him back. I'll do a live on it by itself and see about digging through the rabbit hole a little bit. for sure. But I don't know how deep the rabbit hole goes, but hey, I'm up for jumping in a rabbit hole every once in a while. For sure. For sure, for sure. Well, Debbie, I hope Diamonds is okay. Tell her we're sending her good vibes. It doesn't make sense. The only thing that I had was a picture for now. I don't know if they'll release the video or not. So. Anything else? Anything else? Tell me now. Tell me now. All right. I'm going to get my ass off here, but thank you guys for hanging out and hanging with me to get through that whole interview. Like I said, I'm going to do it in full form and, you know, I'll see what I'm going to do with it after I do it like that. So for sure, for sure. But I'm going to get off here. Thank you guys for hanging out and go have fun tonight. I know I'm going to be busy tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be able to come on tomorrow or not. But if not, then I will come on Sunday. And there's a couple of different cases that I've been wanting to talk about. So I'm definitely going to do that. And, you know, pray for all the missing babies. They're out there. They all need our prayers. They all need our prayers. So, all right. Peace out, everybody. Have a good night.